The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning.
Winter's arrived, and with the holidays around the corner, it's the perfect time for Standard Heating's Black Friday Comfort Countdown specials. And right now is the time to become a Smart Club member and get your furnace in top shape before winter comes. Visit standardheating.com today. Comfort you deserve since 1930.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. 93.
Some folks call it the halfway point of the work week. I call it complete misery. Oh, I hate Wednesdays.
Oh, do you really?
Oh, God.
I find Wednesdays quite enjoyable.
You want to know why I hate them, Josh?
Why is that?
You already know why. You could probably answer this question for me. Why do I hate Wednesdays?
I don't know. I got
Because it insists upon itself.
Oh, duh.
Wednesdays can be shallow and a bit pedantic, can't they?
It insists upon itself. It's not alone. Wednesday isn't alone in insisting upon itself. There are other things.
Like Thursday's always been a bit obtuse, wouldn't you say?
Oh, wow.
Very obtuse.
That'll get you thrown in the hole, using that word. Of course, I'm kidding. I ain't mad. Welcome to the 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. Josh, how you doing there, handsome?
Really good. How about yourself?
Hanging in there quite nicely.
Thank you for the compliment. That was
Do
nice.
you ever think about the old days, Josh? Because that's all I do.
I do, yes.
You ever think about the old days?
Yeah, definitely. Simpler times,
Simpler
perhaps.
times. Do you remember, Josh, when the ringtone on my cellular telephone was Tom Sawyer by Rush?
I do. And
Cool.
If you called Nick back in those days, it was going to ring for a while because you always wanted to hear it ring. Mm-hmm. I do remember that. Mm-hmm. As a matter of fact, funny you say that, anytime I hear the song, I think about that.
I do, too.
It's kind of like I can't listen to Michael Jackson's Beat It without thinking Weird Al, or like a Virgin without thinking Weird Al. You know, songs like that, it's completely changed. And so that's the case with that song.
Many years ago, Josh, of course, was the one who had to show me how to make the legendary rock song Tom Sawyer by Rush. Josh had to show me how to make that my ringtone. Those were great days, but also not so great, maybe when you consider the company we kept at the time. Is that a conversation that grown folks can have? What was your best ringtone? Because the conversation has been going back and forth online. Is that a talk that we can actually have here?
I thought I had a pretty good one. My parents would call, and every time my parents would call, it'd be Final Countdown, because I knew I'd have to go home.
Oh, so you're talking back in high school.
When Mommy called
Oh, that's cool.
or Daddy called, you knew it was time to go home, so you locked in Europe, the Final Countdown.
Yep.
I thought it was pretty funny. A friend of mine, when his wife called, it was the Imperial March, like for the Darth Vader song.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's called the Imperial March.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought that was pretty good. I think my favorite wasn't a song at all. It was, at the time, I was really into the TV show 24. Jack Bauer, hero, awesome.
Never saw it.
I don't know if it'd be for you or not, but I loved it. And so they had a distinctive ringtone, CTU, right, where he worked. They had a distinctive ringtone, and so din-din-din-y. So that was my ringtone for a while. Do you remember that at all?
Play it for me. Can you play it for me?
I think I saved it here.
I would imagine if, since we've been sitting in the same room together for nearly 30 years, if you played it again, I would recognize it.
I'll never forget. It was a Verizon guy. I brought my phone in to be serviced, and we were talking about 24. He's like, I got to show you something. And he's the one that set that up on my phone. This right here. You remember that?
Yes, I do. When your telephone would ring after 9 a.m., it would be bup to you, whatever
and
that. And I had the old Rush song.
What was cool about that is that if it would ring around somebody that watched the show, we had like an instant kinship, right? So I'd show a couple of people that were also fans. They'd be like, how did you get that going?
You could talk about it. Text us. Again, this is kind of new to me. If you think you want to join a conversation about your favorite all-time ringtone, 651-989-9393. Here are a few that have popped in already. Take This Job and Shove It was a ringtone that belonged to one of our listeners, and they tied that in with whenever the boss would call.
I used to have our work phone number saved as "Don't Answer" anytime it called. So I just look at that and go, "Oh, I don't want to get that one."
For me.
How about this? The theme from Psycho when my mom calls. This person says,
Dude. Sam Kinnison's Screaming
Oh, wow.
"Oh,
was
that's a
the
good one."
ringtone for one of our listeners. And if you're a young person and you don't know what that means, my damn.
Oh,
Check it out. The
he loved screaming.
The Kim Possible ringtone. Does anyone know what
my
that
kids
I
watch
can't
that.
remember what it was.
If I heard it, I would know it. I loved that show. Man,
yeah,
she
same
was
here.
good looking.
Her.
She was a good-looking cartoon babe.
Yep.
What is
Short but fat? She said when she got a text, it'd be the Law and Order sound.
Oh, that's cool.
I don't know the law. And play that
I'm
one
sure
for
you've
me.
heard it. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Never saw it. The Seinfeld themes. My God, plenty of you are texting in right now. So I guess this is a conversation that we can have. They're rolling in so damn fast I can't keep up. Everyone has a favorite ringtone that they've employed.
I've always thought my mother-in-law has a clever one for when her son calls. It's the Family Guy Stewie. Mom, Mommy, Mom,
that's
Mommy,
good.
Mom, Mommy.
Now, here's the thing about that. My wife had that for my son Cam.
Uh-huh.
And the problem was it would go on forever because it was a text tone. Right? So it wasn't a ringtone where you could just answer it. It was a text tone, so that thing would be going on forever.
Oh, no, that's you got to be able
That's
to.
awful.
Makes you want to answer pretty quickly, so Stewie shuts up.
All right, Nick, here you go. You recognize that?
Sort of. It just sounds like someone dropping a piece of iron on a piano or something.
Yeah, that's pretty much how
Dun-dun.
they made the sound.
Is that really?
Well, I mean, just someone on a piano. Dong, dong.
You'd like this, a buddy of mine who I totally just ruined any erection he's going to have for the next 2 weeks with something I told him off air. But he has a variety of Iron Maiden songs when people call.
He mixes it up.
Yeah, he does.
Ashley, are you okay?
I don't have one.
Well, no, I just kind of glanced over at the look on your face.
Oh, was it not? Did it not look good?
No, it looked like you were minutes away from death here a minute ago. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Jesus, did you see that, Josh?
No, I got a computer right where her face should be.
Josh was in the middle of telling this little story about his friend and his Iron Maiden-related ringtones. I looked over at Ashley and I thought, she's seconds away from death.
She's a gun.
No, I'm fine.
Do you need some smelling salts or
No.
something? Okay. Just wow. Unbelievable how many of you have been texted in about your favorite ringtone.
Well, it's funny. When I was in high school and college, it was the era where you would spend, $2 or $5 for a ringtone back in the day.
Oh, I remember that.
And it was so silly how much money I spent, considering now I haven't had a ringer on my phone in decades.
I was just going to ask that. How many times do you put on your ringer nowadays?
Well, I do because I got to hear it when it rings.
Oh, yeah, I never do.
What am I missing?
Just put it on vibrate.
Yeah.
What about
Oh, I
ring?
can't always feel that.
What about ring back tones?
Oh,
you guys,
Oh, yeah.
you guys ever use those?
I don't know what
what's that?
What's a ring back tone?
I spent money on those, so it'd be where I could set up a particular song to play when a person called. Like I could have a song play when you call, or whoever calls.
Okay.
It's almost like hold music.
Yeah, they'd hear that instead of the phone ringing. Like my wife is a huge Prince fan, so I would have Prince songs when she called for her.
I did not even know that existed.
It was so funny because you found out when their subscription ended for that song because you would only have it for a year. And then all of a sudden it would switch to that classical violin song. And then you were like, oh, yep, their ringback tone ran out.
I did not know that existed. So, for example, Josh, I could somehow play around with my cellular telephone and make sure when you call me, you hear Steve Vai or Joe Satriani or some guitar. Wow. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of things you can.
Oh, here's somebody that this is what theirs is.
Jesus Christ. I'm right back to hating Wednesdays now.
No.
In college, when my dude friends would call, it would be the Sopranos theme song. And when the ladies would call, it was Lionel Richie all night long.
Lionel.
That's what I went with.
Was
Soprano. I
it
don't
because
know
it was romantic, or do you think you were going to experience all night long with them? Or?
That was the hope, yes.
Can someone play me the Sopranos theme song?
Sure, I think I've got
Was it
that.
very Italian sounding?
Maybe.
No, it was by
I
a
don't
British
remember.
band called Alabama 3.
That would take so much time, too, to set that up, to go through your phone contacts and set every dude to Sopranos. And
Well,
then
not all the dudes, but the main bros.
Well, you could
were-
make like
yeah.
not what they don't call it a playlist, a contact list, couldn't you?
Yeah, I guess.
Music has been taken out of this portion of the Half-Assed Morning Show podcast for licensing reasons.
You'll know this one, Nick.
Never saw the show, not one episode.
Yeah, I didn't either, which is odd.
Never heard this song in my life.
Oh, really? Wow.
This
This was
guy's
a-
British?
This was a popular single before it was their theme song?
I think it's mostly known as the
Yeah.
Sopranos theme song.
Yep.
Never heard it.
Like the show House, the TV show House, their theme song. I had no
House?
idea it was an actual song. I thought they just created the theme for it.
But
So you're saying this was an actual tune, huh?
Yeah, it came out in 97.
Tuna.
Sopranos didn't come out until, I think, like 2000.
I'm going to have to scroll through all these when I have some time because I bet our listening audience has some interesting answers to their favorite ringtone.
Oh,
It's fun. It's a lot of fun.
I'm jealous.
This person said, how about the Chinese butt fire guys? Where the dude lit a fart and then it almost lit him on fire, or completely engulfed.
So you're telling me I could make that my ringtone? See, I don't understand how to do these things.
You could even have the karate kick, dude.
Karate kick to wapa?
Yeah.
Oh, my word.
Yeah, you can kind of have whatever
Someone's
you want.
got to show me how to do this because that would be hilarious.
Yeah, like every time you get a text message, you could have it rotate between those two.
Dude, I got to get this going because then I wouldn't be so bothered by phone calls and text messages if I knew I got to have those fun little moments with the sound effects and on the audio and whatnot.
Do you ever like do any custom ones for people? Like go just you can on the ones that are already existing in your phone, so you hear it and go, "Oh, I should check that because that's from so and so."
No, I have no idea how to do those things. My phone either goes zzz or it just plays the
Generic.
standard,
yeah.
Yeah.
whatever the phone.
Yeah, I do that for certain people just so I know. Oh, I bet I'm going to check that one.
Oh, dude, what a great idea by Hot Cocoa Sheezes. And by the way, while we were, she suggests that maybe my text ring or my phone ring should be Kim Kardashian saying, "Baby."
Oh, I wonder if you'd
That's
be allowed
not
That
a
should be
bad
for
idea.
Josh.
That would be a good text one.
Not a bad idea. A few people have gone with the Yakety Sax Benny Hill song.
That's fun.
That's a fun one.
Every time. Every time. I've been hearing that song since I was 5 years old, and it's fun every time.
That would get to me.
You'd go nuts?
Yeah, I don't.
Don't you have any
those.
theme songs to your...
No, I never did. I
Really?
like recorded some off the radio when I was a kid. I remember like my favorite song would come on, and I'd press record as fast as I could.
On
So,
your
like,
cell phone?
yeah, yep.
Oh.
So I would.
Something else I didn't know was possible.
Yeah, and it never really worked out the way I'd hope it would. So
Okay.
I just gave up on it, and yeah, everyone was just normal and lame. But I want ringtones now. I want to bring them back.
You and I both. Why don't we have the smarter people show us how to do it after the show is over, and we can have just nothing but hilarious things happening on our phone from now until the day that we die. Did you hear Kim Kardashian right there?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, here she is again.
I love it when she does that.
I was going to
There's,
say, Ashley, my dad has a ringtone.
Oh yeah, I'm lame. Sorry, Waffle.
Yeah, won't get fooled again by the Who.
Yeah, you know what? You're lame not jumping on those 70-year-old
Yep.
people's trends.
Yep.
Yeah.
Zedge. People are saying Zedge is an app where you can get a ton of text and ringtones.
All right, I'm
And
downloading it right
What do they
now.
want in trade?
I'm not sure.
So-
They probably all your personal information. I'm not sure what they want.
Your social, yeah.
CVC code.
Oh, my loud orgasm could be a ringtone, people are telling me.
Oh yeah, there's
Yeah.
plenty. Yeah, a few people were hoping for my sax solo. I was thinking about using that AI website and just kind of writing some lyrics. The AI website we use for the band.
Oh, sure.
And so just have the band perform whatever outgoing message I write up. But then I thought, well, first and foremost, I don't know if anybody waits until the voicemail anymore. I don't remember the last time I got a voicemail that wasn't spam. Apparently, I'm in a lot of trouble with the IRS.
Oh,
And an incredible amount of credit card debt I need to fix. And my warranty is about to expire.
Oh,
Before I had won a trip to a cruise ship.
lucky you.
Yeah, those are all the voicemails I've been getting.
there's so many great options I'm learning from you folks and our listening audience as to what I can do with my cellular telephone as far as ringtones and text tones. I've never taken the time to look inside this thing, and I'm holding my cell phone in the air. I've never taken the time to explore all of what's possible. And plus, I don't want to have to give them any money. But it's great. It's great. Great to know that that stuff is out there, and maybe one of you can show me what's up. Because I would love, really, I think, and I'll probably change my mind a dozen times on this, especially after I get a chance to read all the text messages from our listeners. I'll probably change my mind a dozen times. But right now, that fatal karate kick from the Olympics a few years ago, I would like that to be... Oh, my word!
This is a medical device. Jesus wants this.
Wimbayami?
That's a good one.
Oh, yeah.
Nick, a good ringtone would be Our Truth, his theme song. People over here, what's up?
That was a great
Say
song.
what's up?
It was easy to remember the lyrics when our truth entered the ring. It was easy to remember the lyrics to his song, What's Up?
Other suggestions for the Costco internet or intercom fart? Sure.
Classic.
How about it? All right, what else is going on around here? It's Wednesday.
Your favorite day of the week.
Toys for Tatas coming up in a couple of days.
The girls from Rick's are going to visit us tomorrow morning.
Wonderful.
Late tomorrow morning, they're going to be jumping in to talk about it.
Is that right?
That is correct.
The girls from Rick's Cabaret. Yeah, you're now only 2 days away from the big party, our big holiday kickoff, topless charity toy drive. So, I mean, it's a code red. If you haven't figured out what the hell you're doing yet, it's time because we need you there Friday morning. We need your unwrapped toy so we can pass it on to a kid who could use a friggin' break just for once over the holidays. Bring in that unwrapped toy. Keep in mind, kids of all ages, you'll get free admission, you'll get the free food, and we'll have a friggin' good time. Josh and I have decided that we're going to go into the VIP room.
Yeah, well, we decided after all the begging they did, all the girls.
The girls did a lot of begging.
I don't know how they got our numbers. Just beg, please spend all your day, the whole day in the VIP. No, we can't do that.
We've decided we're going to find ourselves a VIP booth.
Because we are good people.
Mm-hmm. And we're going to live it up. There's one rule for the rest of you. No eye contact with Josh and I while we're...
Okay, that's fine.
There's no eye contact.
I don't want to know what's going on in that room.
I was thinking of inviting you over for a few minutes. I guess maybe not now.
No, that doesn't seem safe.
You would enjoy, you would love the VIP room.
Yeah, you
would.
Think? Really?
And I bet you wouldn't have to pay a dime.
Oh, that would be nice.
I bet you'd pay nothing.
I was thinking of asking Ashley to join us over there, but I guess she thinks we're... That'll be Friday morning.
I was just thinking about some of the girls we've had in over the years. Had some regulars, right? Some good friends, Hunter, Coco, plenty over the years. Some of those girls from the inaugural Toys for Tatas are probably on Social Security at this point. We've been doing this thing for so long.
That's ridiculous.
That's crazy to think of.
I know it is.
Even there were times that, when we first started, there was a couple older than me, and now there's no way that's going to happen ever again.
It's like when suddenly one of your best friend's kids turns 30.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You go, wait a minute, what the hell is going on around here?
When I started to feel old is when professional athletes were kids to me. I remember, when you're a kid looking up to these professional athletes, they seem old. And now they're so friggin' young. It's crazy.
Well, how old do you think some of the first X-Girls are right now, too?
They're old.
Yeah.
They're older than the hills.
Yeah, same thing.
Most of them probably haven't lived this long. Really. I mean,
there was in the early days of X-Girls especially.
I would imagine a few of them are deceased and have been for a number of years.
Yeah.
If Josh and I think back to the early days in 93X, and the way everyone operated around here, especially our ex-girls, many of them have passed on.
It was different back then.
It was very different.
Here's your key fob. Here's your station badge. Here's your cocaine.
Right.
It was crazy.
Here's a case of beer and the keys to a car. Good luck. But that is bizarre to think, Josh, how many years have gone by. Coco, Hunter, are two of my favorite ladies.
Oh, yeah.
It's been so long since I've been a regular down there that I don't really know where these ladies are at. I haven't talked to either one of them in a long time.
We had Cherry Bomb in for a couple of years. I don't know if she works there still. I mean, that's I go to a strip club once a year, and that's it, right? Going to the Toys for Tatas thing.
Jax, Janie. I'm trying to think. Man, we had a lot of fun hanging out with Jax and Janie. They were kind of a terrible twosome there for a while. And I know I'm forgetting some others, and I'm going to feel terrible about it.
Yeah, me too.
But Lord above. Yep. It's like when you talk to your old high school buddy, and he says he's going out with his son for his 35th birthday. And you go, what in the balls has happened?
Yeah, I also, when my older two, when they started joining us at our events, when they, just thinking back to when they're kids, they couldn't go to a lot of these. Now they can show up. It's so different. One wire nut Jesus said one of the past ex-girls is his real estate agent.
Oh, wow.
I'm glad she's doing good.
Yeah.
She beat
Great.
the odds.
I gotta know a name.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
She beat the odds. And also just the change in ex-girls over the years. Remember there was the one year where we thought, did they tattoo girls on the way in?
Yeah.
I mean, it was crazy. All of a sudden, all of them were heavily tatted, not just one or two.
We've been here long enough to where we were here before the tattoo explosion took over America. You're right. Suddenly, I thought, where did all this ink come from? Really, honestly, it became a thing. Suddenly, everybody was sleeved out around here. What can you do? That's how time operates. So there you go.
We're getting a lot of requests for some of the clips we play around here. Just if you email me, 93xjosh@gmail.com, I'll send you whatever you want. Just let me know what you want, and I can send it to you, no problem.
That's how you were raised. Certainly, that's how you were raised. Oh, wow. Well, there you go.
For a small fee. I forgot to throw that in. For a small to relatively very expensive fee.
And the
You
social
gotta-
security number.
Never free.
Cubby's got to eat, too. Coming up later on this morning, hopefully the guy ain't too worn out. Just played a game last night. We'll be talking to Marcus Foligno from the Minnesota.
That'll be awesome. I love
Man,
that guy.
Bear Pigs.
I was going to say surprise. Maybe that's not the right way to put it. I guess it was unexpected how cool he was going to be.
Yeah, he's a very nice guy.
I just want to go back to something. I said a small to relatively expensive fee. It's more of a subscription service that you'll be signing up to with a 2-year agreement.
Holy balls.
2-year agreement?
Yeah, 2-year
oh, my
agreement.
gosh.
And a heavy cancellation fee.
Yearly payments.
Yeah, make sure you read all those terms of service, too.
Yeah.
No, don't read them. Whatever you do, don't read them.
Going back to our broadcast, or pardon me, our Toys for Tatas toy drive Friday morning, Beef Cannon Jesus has texted in. Are you guys hanging back in the studio and doing a full broadcast Friday morning? Yes. Well, Josh and I will be here Friday morning. But Dana and Ashley, you guys are going to head down early. How is this going? I don't know the answer to this.
Yep, we'll be down there doing check-ins all morning.
Check-ins all morning. Wapple, Josh, and I will be here in the studio. Mm-hmm. Dana and Ashley will be live as soon as the doors open. Well, you'll be there. You'll check in, and then the three of us will head over as soon as we can when we get off the air at 9 a.m.
Did we get like a bunch of new equipment? You guys will be using that down there?
Oh.
Sound just like you're in studio?
Brand new stuff, state of the art. Just purchased yesterday. No, we'll be on cell phones.
Oh, cell phones.
Yeah, yep.
Cell phones, you
Well,
say.
really, honestly, can you find a landline?
Maybe.
Yeah, possibly.
Cell phones
If
sound
those
like garbage
still
9 times out of
exist.
10.
Yeah, and in there, it might be even worse.
Let's get you on a landline.
Good idea.
Hell of a deal. Yeah, that's how we've been
I'll
doing
fax you about it later.
Perfect.
That's how we've been doing it the last couple of years. We'll put on the show ski, and then we'll run down afterwards, but the doors open at 6, and there will be representatives of our morning show on site.
You can only put up with so many tech issues before you decide, let's just broadcast from the studio and go afterwards.
There you go. There you freaking go. And speaking of going, let's get going here on the program. We'll take a break, but come back with the stupid news here in a few minutes on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
There's a douchiness to them. The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
It is that time of the year at Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Winter's arrived, and with the holidays around the corner, it's the perfect time for Standard Heating's Black Friday Comfort Countdown specials. And right now is the time to become a Smart Club member and get your furnace in top shape before winter comes. Schedule your tune-up, boost your indoor air quality, or grab huge deals on a new system. Do not wait. Visit standardheating.com today. Comfort you deserve since 1930.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever think about switching insurance companies to see if you could save some cash? Progressive makes it easy to see if you could save when you bundle your home and auto policies. Try it at progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
O'Shea Jackson Jr. and TJ Jefferson bring their unique take on sports entertainment with no contest wrestling, with guests like Swerve Strickland.
Why do you use staples like sensu beans, man?
No, it was just something, the concept I came up with. It's an instrument used to punish. It was just finding those common items. If you see them, you automatically think back to me in that moment. So it's one of those things I wanted to just implement in like my whole character, being the most dangerous man in AEW.
The No Contest Wrestling Podcast, part of the Rich Eisen Podcast Network, wherever you listen.
Stupid news on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Josh, we have such a wonderful, creative, hilarious, submissive crowd.
No doubt about that.
Experimental.
Amy?
Our crowd. We had a conversation earlier about ringtones, and it's just incredible, all the options these days, if you know how to operate your cellular telephone. I do not. But you can punch in any kind of a song for your ringtone, sound effects, movie clips. You can specifically designate a certain ringtone depending on who's calling or texting your phone. It's incredible. So we had this conversation about ringtones, and our listening audience was suggesting great ideas for a ringtone, or they just upped and told us what they've been going with for years. I got to roll through some of this stuff because, like I said, it's so creative. We got a couple of wrestling fans in our listening audience. They recommend Ron Simmons' Damn.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
good.
That's a really good one.
As a ring or a text notification. One of our listeners for years has been using Stone Cold Steve Austin's Glass Break intro as a ringtone. Because when that glass hits, it's just 100% pure adrenaline.
No, don't do that.
Rock Bastard Jesus. For his ringtone, he has Jackie Gleason's character of Sheriff Buford T. Justice from the wonderful film Smokey and the Bandit. His ringtone is Buford T. Justice's line when he says to his son, "There is no way." When his son calls, when his dad calls his phone, it's Buford Justice saying, "There is no way that you came from my loins." Big Rigger Jesus. Somebody Get Me a Doctor by Van Halen.
Oh, solid.
Is his ringtone. Foreplay Long Time Jesus, which is a Boston reference. He's had the guitar solo from White Lion's Wait as his ringtone.
What
Josh.
a great solo.
Mm-hmm.
Nice work.
The theme song from Halloween, When My Ex-Wife Calls.
Nice.
Kind of like that ringing, isn't it? Like just do-do-do-do-do-do. I can sort of hear it in my head, but I don't.
This one.
Oh, that's
Yes.
Yeah. Hatch Daddy Jesus. He's been rocking the opening to Fortunate Son from Creedence Clearwater Revival as his ringtone.
That's cool.
Some folks are born made to wave the flag. Ooh, that red, white, and blue. little too early for that, Ashley?
No, I love it.
Okay. Chevy Chase's rant in Christmas Vacation.
Oh, that's a good one.
It's one of our listeners' ringtones. Various Mr. Big songs. Oh, everyone's a winner there. This is cute. Brotherhood 20, how do I say this? It used to be a slogan around here all the time. Brotherhood 2000 plus 24, Painter Jesus. The safety compliance officer, Josh, at his workplace has the safety dance by Men Without Hats. At SSSSAAAF.
That's great.
T.
A buddy of mine, this is not a ringtone, but a buddy of mine, his car alarm, when he locks his car, it has Jarvis from Iron Man saying Century Mode activated as soon as,
Dude,
he hits
that
thing.
is so sweet.
I don't even know what that means, but it sounds cool. Thank you for your text messages. Those are all fun ideas. You're fun people. I'd like to get around to this technology at one point or another in my life to be able to swap out my ringtone and my text tone with cool songs and sound effects and all that. All right. On to the stupid news. Get this now. Rome, Italy, one of the most historic places in the entire damn world. The Colosseum Colosseum is how you say it.
That's on my bucket list. That's the one place I really, really want to go.
The Colosseum in Rome, okay.
I'm such a nerd for all that Roman history stuff.
Yeah, just watch the movie Gladiator. You'll get the gist of it.
Oh, Gladiator 2 coming out.
You'll take an
Can't
interest
wait.
in this. You'll take an interest in this. The Colosseum in Rome is a big part of that history. Gladiators battled to the death in that pig thousands of years ago. Julius Caesar, Russell Crowe, all that stuff, right?
Yep.
Word is now that People magazine, and I believe Airbnb also is involved in this, they're going to go ahead and turn that Colosseum, the Colosseum, into some kind of a destination spot for sword-swinging cosplay. How do you say that, Josh?
Cosplay.
They're going to turn it into a destination spot for folks to play out their medieval battle fantasies like the ultimate Renaissance festival kind of a thing.
You will get a 3-hour-long experience at night after sundown at the Coliseum, and you'll have the entire arena all to yourselves. They'll be greeted by their patron host for the evening, who will take them down into the underground chambers of the Coliseum, which is called the Hippogeum. That is where gladiators would actually walk the halls themselves and prepare for battle.
She didn't sound very Italian.
No.
Nah.
This sounds really cool.
That
but
would be so cool.
What do they want for it?
Yeah.
I imagine it's insane.
Officials in Rome are not happy about this idea.
Yeah, probably.
So you're probably going to get your ass kicked.
Because they don't want anything to get messed with. I imagine. Yeah, they
for
want
a few different reasons.
keep everything perfect.
So again, the Colosseum, where all this historic stuff happened thousands of years ago, hundreds of years ago, they're going to turn it into like a cosplay arena.
A LARPing arena.
Yeah, that's kind of spooky though too. Like after the sun goes down. I don't know about that. That sounds scary.
Did she say something about after the sun goes down?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd be so down.
This has been put into play in order to advertise a new movie called Gladiator Version 2. So they're promoting the movie with this gimmick. It'll allow guests, like you heard that lady say, to suit up, put their skills to the test, suit up in historically accurate armor, and swing around a sword with your eyes closed.
Oh, I would not be able to hold up that armor.
No.
Are you not entertained?
Are you
not entertained?
Well, they call it historically accurate. I think they're probably being fairly loose with that term. I don't think they're gonna hang 200 pounds of armor on you.
That'd be awesome. No, they did.
Here's
They
more.
can barely swing the sword.
Here's some more jibber jabber from Airbnb, trying to sell this gimmick to the general public. They say, train in the art of gladiator combat and test your mettle as you face off against your fellow warriors. May you taste the sweetness of glory and join the ranks of victorious gladiators since time immemorial. I think I said that right. Immemorial. What is that word, Josh?
Yeah, I want to hear you.
Immemorial. Immemorial?
Sounds good to me.
Do you know what it is?
I have to look. I don't have the article in front of me anymore. Let me see.
This is a hell of a deal. Just your typical schmuck out in the middle of the historic Coliseum, sword in hand, shield in hand. Hey, you see that chubby guy with glasses and the Iron Maiden T-shirt? Go hack off his arm and beat him to death with it, just like the great gladiators did during the days of Julius Caesar.
All right, so I think it's ranks of victorious gladiators since time immemorial.
Immemorial.
I think that's how you pronounce it.
I'll never get it. So, but Roman folks hate the idea.
Yeah, well, I love how these badass gladiators fought to the death thousands of years ago, and then all of a sudden, a dorky kid like I could go in there.
Yeah, you would have lasted 30 seconds in the gladiator match.
You know what they'd do is they'd feed you to the lion ahead of time.
Yeah, I would.
You'd be a little appetizer.
Yeah, you wouldn't really be a part of the show.
No one would get to see me.
Roman folks are saying they're pissing all over a sacred part of their history. They're saying that the Colosseum shouldn't be turned into a, quote, theme park. Rome is not Disneyland, one feller said over there.
I've been to the Coliseum, and it is very touristy. There's people out there hawking, souvenirs, and here's a gladiator poster for $5. Please buy it. Yeah, it is. I mean, it is a sacred ground, but it is very, very touristy.
That kind of bothers me. That sucks.
Well, you all want to go, right?
Yeah, that's
true. So you're probably glad that
I would love to.
That they're allowing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always struggle with that, Josh, because when I went to Washington, D.C., obviously, there's a lot of statues and important, burial grounds and stuff like that. And I didn't like that there was other people, but I was or so many people at those events where it's supposed to be quiet and everybody's supposed to be calm and poised. But then I thought, well, I'm here, so I can't really complain.
So a lot of the folks in Rome don't like the idea of the Colosseum being used like it's a water park. Those in Rome who are in on the bit and like the idea, they are saying they're going to enhance the historical and cultural heritage of the amphitheater through immersive activities in full respect of the monument, otherwise known as we're going to make a lot of money. So, Cubby, what do you think? I mean, this is the historical spot where thousands upon thousands died heroically for a cause, and now it's going to be 12-year-old kids running around in circles with a oversized knight helmet on, peeing their pants and this and that.
Well, I guess, I bet it's a lot different if that's where you're from, right? You look at it a little bit differently. But to me, it does seem cool as long as they can be respectful and not destroy the place. But I'd imagine, if that's part of your history, you feel quite a bit differently.
Maybe we
Unless you're the one raking in the dough from it.
Yeah.
That person might have some questionable feelings on it.
Maybe we should fire up a business where we invite families to dress up in army outfits and we cosplay the Normandy invasion or something.
Have you guys ever seen...
There'll be snacks on the boat ride over to the beach.
Oh, cool. I'm in.
I mean, that's kind of
that seems... I'll keep in mind, though, the Colosseum was for entertainment. As morbid as it was, I mean, you're talking about a war.
I'm kidding around. I'm not trying.
It wasn't like a religious site. It wasn't... So.
Oh, it wasn't? I don't know much about it.
I mean, yeah, they're by the way, I was wrong. I thought that maybe Wapple would be used to feed a lion. People are saying, no, it'd be fluff. You'd be a lion fluffer.
I would love to.
That'd be your gig.
Have you guys ever seen medieval MMA?
I don't think so.
Never even heard of it.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Oh, I'll send you a video quick, Josh. It is brutal.
Ooh,
These
I'm
dudes
pumped.
are in an octagon like UFC, and they're swinging around swords. They're bashing each other, punching each other in the face. It's insane.
That sounds really cool.
I'll send you it, too. It is so cool.
I'm going to put this up on the website. These videos are hilarious.
It is so cool.
Well, this kind of wacky play acting is going on everywhere. Check this here deal out. They had to up and cancel the samurai death contest.
Darn.
It was criticized for being in bad taste. What? There's just a story out of Tokyo, Japan, where Dawkins recorded their 1988 live record, Beast from the East. I recommend the track Heaven Sent from that record. The intro is beautiful. Anyway, the Samurai Death Contest in Japan had to be canceled. This is some twisted stuff right here. It was supposed to be a contest where participants tried their best to impersonate a Japanese samurai warrior writhing in pain after committing a ritual suicide.
Oh,
that's pretty weird.
That is very weird.
How do you come up with something like that?
What did they call it? Seppuku or something like that?
Seppuku, I'll go either way with that, is the Japanese name for a samurai suicide.
Yeah, you stab yourself, cut your guts, and then someone chops your head off. Yikes.
I didn't expect you to know all that, Wobble.
Yeah, I know too much about all this
really
historical stuff. It's insane.
Kind of question wanting to be in the same room with you right now.
There was one time I wanted to be a history teacher, but I'm not smart enough.
No, you're not.
It's any teacher. It doesn't have to be history.
Exactly.
But they called this contest Smooth Off. Folks thought it was just a little too damn dark. And it certainly sounds that way. An advertisement for the contest that ran in a local newspaper said, "Let us see your amazing acting skills as you agonize for about a minute after slashing yourself in the belly with a plastic sword. Whoever shows us the most powerful performance will win the top prize." But when folks got word of this, they hollered about it on social media. They said, death by self-disembowelment should not be treated as entertainment. Now, the dork who tried to organize this silliness, he reacted to the show being canceled. He or she said, "We thought this contest could help encourage some people to become actors or even create something new in the genre of bizarre festivals. We feel sorry for causing trouble," they said. Fair enough. Hell of an idea, though, huh?
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know how that made it past the first draft, but...
Your best imitation of the most painful suicide possible.
Yeah, I don't think you should make light of suicide.
No.
My damn. There you go.
I'd avoid that one, I think.
How about this, then? Changing gears quite abruptly here from all this darkness. Do you know anybody with a banana phobia?
No, but I know someone who has terrible migraines, and it sometimes the smell of a banana can cause one.
I know a gal. I knew a gal years ago who had a banana phobia, so she just went ahead and switched over to cucumbers. This year has turned into big news for one reason or another. So again, this gal would get migraine headaches, and sometimes the smell of a banana would aggravate those headaches.
Yeah, or cause one.
The smell of a banana.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awful.
How do you get your potassium?
I don't know what she did for potassium. I'll have to ask her.
Got to get her on some supplements, Josh.
Yeah, I ate banana a day, and I lived with her, so I had to stop eating those.
This has turned into big news for one reason or another. Oh, those big damn stubborn Swedes, Josh. It's always a problem with those damn Swedes. Stubborn. Every last damn one of them. But we're not necessarily talking about stubbornness here. We're talking about a phobia. Sweden's Minister for Gender Equality and Work Life, by God, she allegedly suffers from an irrational fear of bananas, and that prevents her from coming anywhere near one. Keep those damn bananas away from this gal. Paulina Brandberg is the name she goes by. I guess she first mentioned publicly her banana phobia in a tweet years ago, and she called it the weirdest phobia ever. her staff, she's got folks that work for her, don't you know? By damn, she is the Minister for Gender Equality and Work Life in all of the country of Sweden. Her staff, they've gone to great lengths to make sure that she never crosses paths with a banana. If they see one, they dive on it like it's a damn grenade. When she has to make an appearance, Summers, her staff does a sweep of the building to clear out any bananas.
That is ridiculous. Do you think they tell people they're like looking for bombs or something, not bananas?
I'm not sure what
That's
story.
embarrassing.
Banana bomb.
Sure what story they spin.
She could never play Mario Kart.
Oh, no, she's screwed. Yeah.
This Brandberg lady has admitted that this is an issue for her and that she's also promised she will see a doctor about this in the near future, but she's awful busy right now. It says here, banana phobia is rare, but it can cause serious symptoms like anxiety, nausea, and it can be triggered by seeing or smelling a damned banana.
Dana, you have that with ketchup.
I do.
Yeah, he does.
I saw you have an extreme reaction to seeing ketchup.
Mm-hmm. Especially the mass quantity of it that was on the table that day.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't just like somebody who doesn't like ketchup. It almost seemed like a phobia.
It's a definite phobia.
Well, how do you get your lysopene? I know you're concerned about nutrition. Do you just eat raw tomatoes?
Yeah. I just bare-hand tomatoes.
But yeah, so is there any other foods like that? I thought, geez, we're going to have to change tables.
It was close, yeah.
You were covering your eyes. It was so bad.
I was like, I physically turned my body the other way to not be, so it was not even in my peripheral.
Ketchup is disgusting.
Oh, no, it's not.
But you guys can be around, you can be around it. You don't like it. But Dana, like I said, he was covering his eyes. He turned his body.
Yeah.
And he looked like he was going to barf.
Yeah, I was also pretty grossed out by what I was doing. I was spilling ketchup all over the table, but we were trying to do a bit. Yeah, I get it, Dana. I do. I get your reaction to that. It's a hell of a deal. Of course, we've had conversations up and down many, many, many times on this program about phobias. I've never heard of a banana phobia. Again, I think the weirdest one that I've ever heard of, it's someone that I do know personally. It's a friend of mine who has a phobia about sponges.
I've heard that's not uncommon.
I'm sure it's not. Yeah, I'm sure it's not.
It's the holes, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you show them a sponge in person or even a picture of a sponge, they fall into some kind of a tizzy and they have to run away from it. And you're right, Josh. It is the holes, the mystery of the holes, the amount of holes. I don't know what it is,
Mystery.
but that's the basis behind it, and they just can't be around even a picture of a sponge. They hate that song from back in the day. They hate it.
Cloud?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a great song.
They can't stand it.
That's an underrated band. Angry Bus Driver Jesus wants to know, Dana, would colored ketchup, like the green ketchup or something like that.
Oh, that stuff is so gross.
Would that be any different? Maybe.
Thankfully, I've never encountered that, but I have to imagine I still wouldn't enjoy it.
I think they even have purple ketchup.
They do. I've seen the purple ketchup before.
It does. I mean, when you think about it, does it disgust you less?
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
No, it still disgusts me.
Oh, it does. Okay.
That makes it worse for me. The green ketchup and whatnot.
Yeah,
My God.
I don't like that
What,
either.
did someone just lance an infection? You know?
Yeah.
How do you do with blood?
I'm okay with blood. Blood doesn't bother me.
I was wondering if maybe it's something related to that.
Blood. Oh, God. Someone just sent me a picture via a text message. They sent me a picture of ketchup-flavored seasoning.
Oh.
God, help us all.
That would be delicious.
Yeah, if you're starving to death, maybe. The only way I'm eating ketchup-flavored seasoning is if it's like the 45th day that I'm stranded on that island. Then maybe I would pour ketchup-flavored seasoning into my mouth to try to survive.
Oh, come on.
Other than that.
What do you think of this, Dana? Like an alternate use for a ketchup. This person said they use it as a lubricant.
Oh, gross.
I'm sorry, did I say something gross?
No.
I just said they use ketchup as a lubricant.
Oh, that's a crazy mental picture.
Now, sticking with bananas here, Josh was just talking about this a few days ago. The infamous banana duct taped to a wall that has become, quote, art. Okay? You just mentioned it a few days ago. And coming up at one of those art auction type of setups, the duct-taped banana might be sold for a damn $1 million. The ultimate scam. I'll say it again if you ask me. Art, the ultimate scam.
You just don't get it, Nick.
You're just not cultured enough, bro.
I don't get it. I'll tell you, I saw, and it wasn't Jackson Pollock, right? Whatever his name is?
Yep.
The guy, isn't he kind of famous for just splashing canvas?
I have no friggin' clue.
Is that the guy? I hope I'm not messing that up. But I think you know, like, there's some artist is famous for that.
Yep.
So it wasn't him, but there was another artist that did that. I worked at the Galleria Mall, and right next to where I worked, there was a fancy art shop, and they had a bunch of that, and I didn't get it. And so I just kind of think, you put something that nobody understands on canvas, let them make up their own mind on how deep the meaning is, and then you charge like $15,000 for it, and some rich guy has to have it.
I think that's you explained the recipe perfectly.
And then you'll have somebody who can paint like a beach scene that looks so real, and it's absolutely beautiful, and you can get that for $35 somehow.
I've never understood it either, and I've always really loved art and been very into it, and it's just, I don't get it.
Jackson
It looks like a kid could do
Pollock, you say? Did he do the loadout?
Well, that was what.
Oh no, that was Jackson Brown. I'm sorry.
Oh, I thought you were making a.
You stay.
I thought you were making a finishing joke, because wasn't that in So I Married an Axe Murderer? Or what was the movie where they said it's a Jackson Pollock painting in here?
Oh, I have no idea.
Michael Bierauer, I think that's how you pronounce his last name. Is that the guy? The dude that does all the kind of cool city paintings. He did a lot of Minnesota stuff.
You
Chicago.
got me, bruh.
Like
I'm
that,
taking
to me,
your word
that's,
for it.
That's extreme talent to me. A guy like that can make those pictures and sculptures and stuff.
This duct tape banana gimmick, it's titled Comedian. It was created by an Italian artist named something or another. Well, I guess I think I have to say it because it comes into play later. It was created by an Italian artist called Maurizio Catalan. Okay? It first debuted in 2019 at an art fair in Miami, and it became a sensation. At one point, as the duct-taped banana toured around from town to town, from art gallery to art gallery, another artist at one point took the banana off the wall and ate it.
That's awesome.
But it doesn't matter. You just bring in a backup banana. 3 editions of it have sold for between $120,000 and $150,000. That's so ridiculous it just straight up aggravates me. So obviously, the banana gets switched out when it needs to be. Now it has an estimated value between $1 and $1.5 million.
I love this anchor here talking about a news anchor talking about it. You can kind of hear just the annoyance in his voice about the whole thing.
That's all there is, a banana on the wall. There were 3 editions at a time. One sold for $120,000. Sotheby's expects to fetch up to $1.5 million when it goes for auction on Wednesday. The piece has brought up the age-old debate about what is art.
Yeah, dude.
It's not that. It's not that.
You're perfectly accurate. That dude did not want to read that story.
He doesn't even think it's funny either. He's just annoyed.
You know how the anchors toggle back and forth?
Yep.
And you heard a lady there also, who must also be an anchor on the show. I bet off air he was saying, I'll do the anthrax attack story before I'll do the banana story.
Yeah.
I'll take that. You do the banana. They probably argued over it. So here's what an art dork had to say about the gimmick. And he's not helping the cause. He said, Catalan, again, is the name of the guy who created it. What Catalan is really doing is turning a mirror to the contemporary art world and asking questions. He's provoking thought about how we ascribe value to artworks and what we define as art.
Dude,
no, he's
shut
not.
up. No, you're just putting duct tape on a banana.
You saw that nonsense coming, didn't you, Josh?
Oh, yeah.
You knew he was...
That's all you got to do. That's what you do. You need the story.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily the talent of these guys, because obviously any one of us could duct tape a banana to a wall. By the way, somebody said it's not called a banana, it's a TreeDix. But anybody can do that, right? But the story is what makes it so expensive.
You're right.
Thank you to the all-knowing brother and sisterhood. The quote I was talking about, the full quote is, if you get a black light in here, this place would look like a Jackson Pollock painting. Guardians of the Galaxy. For some, I was thinking it was Austin Powers. Thank you very much.
Sometimes I cut up TreeDix into small pieces and put it on my cereal.
That's great.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a
Tasty treat.
TreeDix peanut butter sandwich?
I've had it in all different. Yeah. I like a TreeDix split.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
I don't remember the last time I had a TreeDix split.
Now, it's too late for common sense, right? It's too late for common sense. Even if an art dork, a respected art dork, stepped up and said, my damn people, get a grip. It's just a banana and some duct tape. It ain't worth $2. It's too late. Too many people have fallen for it. Like I said, as it's traveling town to town and gaining more hype, it becomes more expensive. It's too trendy now to stop.
Stanky Boy Jesus said, that's how you know the election is over, when the news has to talk about banana art pieces.
That's just ridiculous.
You know, and a few people are saying, too, that some of these paintings are used to money launder and stuff like that. I know I read books where they talk about that, like some of the spy thrillers.
Yeah, I've only ever seen that in movies.
That's too deep for me. All right, we'll wrap it up here. And this sounds hilarious. I wish this to happen to one of you. I do. A husband and wife driving two different motor vehicles, driving in two different directions, hit the same deer.
Oh, no. That deer.
They hated that deer.
Yeah.
Oh, that's messed up. That poor deer.
And we're in the perfect time of year to have this conversation. This happened in Wichita, Kansas. Says here it's peak season for deer car crashes in Kansas, and I would imagine around here too. And oh boy, did one couple learn that fact the hard way. Gina Morgan is the name of the wife. She was going one way in her motor vehicle. She hits a deer. The deer is thrown across the road in front of a car traveling in the opposite direction, driven by none other than her husband, a fella named Ronnie.
They showed that deer.
All right,
little
so
double tap.
Obviously, a terrible accident, right? And how could you ever do that on purpose? But do you think the husband is just a little pissed at her? Just a little bit. Maybe he even realizes this is irrational, but he's kind of mad at his wife.
Oh,
I think
100%.
All husbands get mad at their wives when their wife has any incident in their motor vehicle.
Oh, yeah. Any driving thing, I'm sure he's maybe thinking, first and foremost, I wouldn't have hit that deer and sent it into you. I imagine there's something like that.
Because we dudes, we think we're the masters of driving, and I have to go ahead and say the two worst drivers I have ever seen in my life, they should have never been licensed, ever, are both two of my guy friends.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I said a real dickish thing to my wife, and I did not mean to be a jerk at all. But she got T-boned, and it wasn't her fault. The lady blew a red light, and I was just saying, you always got to look, even if it's green, right? You got a green light, you got to look, because you can't trust that people are going to do what they're supposed to do. That's why that never would have happened to me. I didn't mean to sound like a complete a-hole, but as soon as I said it, I thought, oh, no.
Oh, that sounds like something my boyfriend would say to me.
I'm in so much trouble right now.
Yeah.
I really put my foot in my mouth, and I didn't mean to at all. And I didn't even mean to insult her. I thought I was being helpful, and it turns out I was not.
Focus.
I mean, two of my oldest pals, just horrible. Wang, terrible driver. Absolutely clueless behind the wheel. Wang sucks at driving. And he's going to get now. Wang can deal with that because I think he knows it. My other buddy, he's probably not going to be happy to hear this out loud. King, you're also a dangerous driver that never should have been licensed.
It's like very aggressive?
Oh, for God's sake, yes. I don't know how many times I've been in the car with him where he has to stand on his brakes to avoid a violent collision.
Oh, my gosh,
both
that's scary.
Feet, both feet, legs extended, legs fully extended, because he just doesn't anticipate anything. And then in third place would be my mother. So there's one woman on the list. My mother is the third worst driver of all time, followed by the King, and in first place, Wang.
So a couple of people are texting in on other ways to enjoy TreeDix, a.k.a. bananas.
Yes.
Making Maps, Jesus said, bro, wait until you have a TreeDix cream pie. His grandma makes the best.
Yes.
Dumb.
And this person, tradesworker, Jesus said, you haven't lived until you've tried my mom's TreeDix pudding. Oh, that sounds pretty good. And Jacob has a great idea for the next stupid, fake, scam art piece.
Okay.
The next guy, he tapes different fruit to the wall, like an orange, and then calls it, "Orange, you glad I didn't tape a banana?"
Oh, God.
Dude, that's perfect.
That is so perfect because, somebody's going to have that.
Stop.
Orange, you glad.
Hey, thank you for bringing me back to second grade.
Right. I was just going to say, I haven't heard that joke since first grade. All right, let's wrap it up with this married couple who smashed a deer to death.
Sorry to my wife again. That was about 10 years ago, and I still feel bad about it.
Wife's driving in her vehicle going in one direction. Husband's driving in his vehicle going in the opposite direction. Wife hits the deer. It bounces off of her car, crosses over into oncoming traffic, and the husband smashes it himself. Now, they did not know this as they're passing each other by. It all happened too fast to realize what it. Wife comes home with her car broken in half, and she says to the husband, "I hit a deer." Ronnie, the husband, says, "Yeah, me too." And they realize what had happened. They are grateful to be alive, they said. Grateful to be alive.
Yeah, I mean, those can go quite a bit worse. Yeah.
Oh, God help us. We got to take a break. Sports is coming up.
Here's Wapple with your video game update. If you thought the Australian breakdancer Ray Gunn's fame was over, well, it's not. Season 1 of Call of Duty Black Ops 6 includes a dance emote that replicates the viral breaking routine from the 2024 Paris Olympics, which scored 0 points.
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
For those of you that don't know what an emote is, it's when players use them to express themselves in the game when something good happens, or they're trying to diss the other opponents and call them a noob.
Tango down.
You might even remember Viking safety Cam Bynum doing the dance after making an interception against the Jacksonville Jaguars. The emote is titled Moveset, and it can be unlocked by completing page 14 of the Black Ops 6 Battle Pass. PlayStation maker Sony is in talks to acquire a controlling stake in From Software, who's the developer behind Elden Ring, Dark Souls, and Bloodborne, as part of a buyout of its owner.
I offer you an accord.
Sony already owns the Bloodborne and Demon Souls franchises, and if the deal gets done in a couple of weeks, Sony would be in control of 84% of the company. Both Sony and From Software have declined to comment on the report.
I command thee.
Elden Ring was launched in 2022 and now has sold over 25 million copies worldwide. Let me know what you're thinking by texting me on the Luther Bloomington Kia text line at 651-989-9393. Listen every Wednesday for more video game updates.
Sports on the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
I mean, it's sick, but I think we're all a little off, a little weird, a little bit.
Don't ever embrace your insanity.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's awesome. That sex doll, dude, does it look like her?
Yeah, they're going to make it to look like her.
Can you get 2 of them?
I could. You can have.
Enough with that guy. What's his name again? Lamar Odom?
Lamar Odom.
Former NBA player Lamar Odom. We talked about him a couple weeks ago, so he went into the sex doll shop and he requested that they make him a lifelike sex doll. And he went a step further. He insisted that they make his sex doll look exactly like his ex-wife, which is one of the Kardashian ladies, and I couldn't tell you which one.
Khloe Kardashian.
We talked about it. It's kind of sick, right?
It's weird.
It's really weird.
It's creepy.
It's disturbing.
And right there you heard him say, well, we're all a little weird, or all a little. Yeah, he's right about that.
Not that weird, though, dude.
There are levels. There are different levels, certainly.
Does that make it better to you, though, Ashley, that he admits, yeah, it's a little sick?
No.
Because he still did it?
Yeah.
And he's still maybe even using it?
Yeah.
Oh, he's using it.
He needs some help, if that's the case.
As God is my witness, he's broken that thing in half, I bet, at this point. I bet he has. Lamar Odom, he bangs a sex doll that looks just like his ex-wife. Nice win for the Pigs in Missouri last night. We're going to talk to Marky Foligno in about an hour about not only last night's game, but, we'll cover a few different things with the man. He's a great conversationalist, fun guest.
Easily.
Mark Foligno. Golden Gopher basketball won last night. So Randy Shaver and Brad Ryder and Marcus Foligno will join us in a half hour. Josh's news is coming right quick.
There's a douchiness to them. The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
It is that time of the year at Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Winter's arrived, and with the holidays around the corner, it's the perfect time for Standard Heating's Black Friday Comfort Countdown specials. And right now is the time to become a Smart Club member and get your furnace in top shape before winter comes. Schedule your tune-up, boost your indoor air quality, or grab huge deals on a new system. Do not wait. Visit standardheating.com today. Comfort you deserve since 1930.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever find yourself playing the budgeting game? Well, with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive, you can find options that fit your budget and potentially lower your bills. Try it at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. Not available in all states.
O'Shea Jackson Jr. and TJ Jefferson bring their unique take on sports entertainment with no contest wrestling, with guests like Swerve Strickland.
Why do you use staples like sensu beans, man?
No, it was just something, the concept I came up with. It's an instrument used to punish. It was just finding those common items. If you see them, you automatically think back to me in that moment. So it's one of those things I wanted to just implement in like my whole character, being the most dangerous man in AEW.
The No Contest Wrestling Podcast, part of the Rich Eisen Podcast Network, wherever you listen.
Half-assed Morning Show. 93X.
I'm not going to comment yet on past disagreements or what may have led up to it.
When a 42-year-old Ohio man asked another man for a cigarette, he was brutally attacked with a sword. So I guess the answer was no. Police arrested 34-year-old Matthew McKnight at the scene Saturday. Night, sword. Where neighbors described the incident as a nightmare because of a simple request for a cigarette.
I didn't have any, so he went next door and that guy just took some kind of a sword, samurai sword, and stabbed him.
She also recalled a previous encounter with McKnight, stating he pulled a knife on me once when I asked for a cigarette. I had to run, she said.
Some people are really anti-smoking.
Yeah, this guy, yeah.
Well, we were talking about cigarette prices the other day. If I was a smoker and somebody asked to bum one from me, I might take the samurai sword to him as well.
If this happens enough, do you think they'll have to add it to the Surgeon General's warning? Might get stabby. Detectives are reviewing McKnight's history at the apartment to uncover other previous incidents. Apparently, people have been complaining about this sword-wielding guy for a while.
He sounds violent.
Authorities say a 41-year-old Michigan man driving a riding lawnmower refused to pull over for a deputy and then accidentally shot himself in the hand. Police went to arrest the man on several warrants. When a deputy arrived, he was operating a riding mower and refused to get off. He reportedly accelerated toward the deputy before riding away as the cop chased him. The mower eventually stopped in a ditch, but he still refused to comply, went back to the mower, drew a hidden handgun, and pointed it at the deputy, who responded by firing a taser, striking the guy who accidentally shot himself.
You run, I'm gonna tase you, James. I'm gonna... Send me another unit now. Shots fired. Suspect pulled a gun. Suspect reached for a gun. Got tased. Round discharged from his gun. Start JCA'd another unit. Looks like he got shot in the hand.
He and his brand new Hangina are now behind bars.
James.
Do a lot of people arm themselves before they mow the lawn these days? I haven't caught on to this trend.
Maybe it's a rough neighborhood.
Tough neighborhood?
Yeah. These are around the Detroit area, maybe?
Oh.
Stay strapped.
Cops in Colorado made an unforgettable discovery during a traffic stop. A dildo, a used dildo, which turned a routine search into a comedy show caught on body cam. Footage reveals officers rifling through a vehicle stuffed with mattresses, pillows, and blankets when they stumbled upon the unexpected sex toy. Their reactions were comedy gold. One officer tossed it aside, then picks it back up and waves it around like a magic wand, laughing
You can't help it,
hysterically.
can you?
No, they had some fun.
Yeah.
Another officer ups the ante. He stuck the toy to the side of the car. It was one of those suction cup dildos I recently learned about.
I'm very familiar with them.
Those are fun.
But the scene wasn't all laughs. They also say the car was stolen, and one occupant had an active warrant. Officers also uncovered suspected drug paraphernalia during that search.
Hey, Sarge, check it out. They've made it all really easy. Just a whole bunch of dope pipes.
While this was unfolding, a man in another car added to the chaos. He drove up to the cops and yelled, "Get out of the way, dickheads!"
Got him.
He was angry over the drive-thru being blocked by patrol cars. They tried to give him a break, but after parking, the guy doubled down, flipping off officers and shouting profanities. So they slapped him with a $120 fine and a citation for interfering with an officer.
It is kind of fascinating. I don't know, Josh, if you'd call it, some kind of an inside look to the human psyche or something fancy like that. But if you introduce a dildo into a social situation, there's always someone who's got to wave it around like a baseball bat or a sword.
Yeah, unexpected dildo does that to people, right? It brings out your inner child. Yeah. A 56-year-old Pennsylvanian was seen on his neighbor's camera masturbating. The man, reportedly intoxicated, went onto his neighbor's property about 2:30 a.m., September 22nd, prime masturbation time. Mm-hmm. The neighbor told police he stood in front of an outdoor camera on her property and began masturbating. The next day, she confronted him outside, pointing at the camera and asking, "What happened?" He reportedly smirked and said, "I was very drunk," and "My bad."
He said it was his bad.
It doesn't really go away that easy, man.
He was "My bad." You can use that in any situation. He was charged with open lewdness, loitering, prowling at night, and harassment.
Yeah, might be.
That's
It
on
happens.
me. That's on me. A 24-year-old Louisiana woman's now in custody, accused of spinning a horrifying web of lies about her young son's alleged kidnapping.
Oh, boy.
A cover-up police called shocking and tragic. In the early hours of November 5th, she made a frantic call to authorities, claiming strangers in an old truck abducted her son after her car got a flat tire. But when deputies arrived, her story began to crumble. The truth unraveled when the boy told officers his mom had run him over and then left him abandoned on the roadside.
Jesus.
Investigators quickly discovered there was no kidnapping at all. Instead, authorities believe the incident began as an argument between the mother and child, escalating in response to an argument that they had possibly about grades. She faces multiple charges for what police called a heartless act of neglect. Sounds like they're fighting. The kid hops out of the moving car, and mom says, "All right, screw you. That's your choice," and just kept on going.
Ran him over.
Well, he said she did. They didn't say for sure whether or not he got run over.
How did she present this story of a kidnapped child when the child was right there to tell the police this and that?
Well, they found him. She left him on the side of the road. And then made it up, realizing,
cool.
I might be in some trouble here.
She was obviously ready for parenthood. From the get-go, she was prepared for parenthood.
Again.
And she continues to excel in that department.
So she had the kid, when she was pretty young. She's only 24 here. A show and tell event at a junior school in England ended after a child brought a historic explosive device for show and tell.
Oh, no.
That's cool.
School was evacuated at 1:30 p.m. after the item was shown to class. A school spokesperson stated police attended the school after a possible unexploded ordnance was brought in for show and tell. The device has since been removed from the site, cops said. They confirmed the school was evacuated and a disposal team took the item away to be destroyed as a precaution.
That was fun for a minute there.
Yeah, I bet that was like the coolest thing they had. Can you imagine the kid that went right before him and the kid that has to go right after him?
Kid right before him had his new pet gerbil,
Yeah.
Bored everyone to death.
A 57-year-old school security officer was arrested early Saturday morning on charges of driving under the influence after being stopped for erratic driving on a Tampa roadway. At 3:24 a.m., a sheriff's deputy observed the officer's vehicle swerving and pulled him over. During that stop, the officer reportedly exhibited clear signs of impairment and failed the field sobriety test. Subsequent breathalyzer tests revealed blood alcohol levels of 0.168 and 0.175, more than twice the legal limit. Adding to the gravity of the situation, he was found wearing his school security uniform at the time of his arrest, and his gun belt with a firearm in it were also in the vehicle. No. Oopsies. That investigation remains ongoing. Two more stories about people whose nights began sitting at a bar, then ended with each sitting behind them. First, in New York, where two state troopers were investigating a drunk driving incident, they were hit by a different drunk driver. At midnight Friday, troopers were investigating an SUV which hit a Department of Transportation light tower in a work zone. The troopers were in their patrol cars when a second SUV struck one of the parked cars from behind. The impact pushed the first squad into the second one, parked right in front. The troopers rushed to help the civilians involved, only to realize they had suffered minor injuries themselves. All parties were taken to local hospitals with non-life-threatening injuries. Just hours later, and nearly 200 miles away, another crash involving a suspected drunken driver left police scrambling to respond, this time on Cape Cod. A little after 1 a.m., officers were responding to a call when a sedan driven by a 20-year-old collided with an unoccupied police cruiser parked on the street. She and her 24-year-old passenger sustained injuries and were taken to a hospital. They also had injuries not believed to be life-threatening.
We got to try to talk these drunks into carpooling.
Yeah, take one of those ride shares.
Yeah, too bad there's not an app that you can access on your phone and get a ride anywhere.
They need to come up with that. You're right.
You're coming off kind of sarcastic.
Oh, am I?
Yeah, because you're saying one thing, but your tone indicates something else.
Oh, my bad.
You know, I thought Midwesterners were better than this. I'm not mad. I'm disappointed. New FAA data is revealing a disturbing trend in Minnesota. We talked about some of these laser strikes last week. In Minnesota, apparently, it's incredible how much it's jumped in the last 9 years. 237 reported incidents of goofballs pointing lasers at aircraft last year alone. That's an increase of over 180% since 2015.
Whoa.
The variety of aircraft targeted last year stands out. Pilots flying small, single-engine Cessna 172s, a staple of general aviation. They reported over a dozen laser strikes. Gulfstream luxury jets, military planes like C-130s, cutting-edge F-16 and F-35 fighter jets, a Navy P-8 patrol plane, and even Black Hawk helicopters fell victim to laser strikes as well. Pilots described the strikes as a sudden blinding flash akin to the burst of a camera flashbulb, and usually during takeoffs and landings, considered critical phases of flight. The FAA warns that pointing a laser at an aircraft isn't just irresponsible, it's dangerous. Aiming a laser at an aircraft is a serious safety hazard which puts everyone on the plane and on the ground at risk, the agency stated. While there haven't been any accidents directly linked to laser strikes, the FAA said the rising number of incidents only increases the potential for disaster.
So a lot of Minnesotans and grown ones are running around town with their laser pointers, messing with airplanes. We're a top offender.
And it's really weird that it's increasing. You'd think, like, at this point, those dorks would say, all right, let's move on. Let's SWAT somebody or move on to something more modern. But no, they're still doing the laser pointer.
That's embarrassing.
It is embarrassing.
It's so
and
childish.
as we've talked about before, it's like dudes in their 50s most often. Come on, man.
Right.
Weirdos.
Find a hobby.
If you've got an old pair of Levi's sitting in your closet,
come on now.
Check the tag, bro, or lady, bro. The little red Levi's tag on the back pocket, it's in all capital letters except for the E. However, it wasn't always that way. Before 1971, the tag on the jeans featured a capital E, a small detail which has become crucial in determining whether the jeans are what they're calling vintage. If they are vintage, they're fetching thousands online. One listing had a pair of 1955 jeans with the capital E for $6,000.
Whoa.
Most are selling for about $4,000. The oldest known pair of Levi's from 1873 sold at a New Mexico auction last year for $100,000.
Whoa.
Oh, my dad's got to have a pair of old Levi's in his closet.
Not from the 50s, I bet he doesn't.
No, he wouldn't. Yeah, that's true. He wouldn't be able to fit those anymore.
Maybe some hand-me-downs.
Yeah, that could be a possibility.
You should check. They're right there. There's your college fund. Oh, you already went to college.
I'm going to check, and then I'm going to take them.
Oh, is that right? Yeah, he probably didn't hear that story.
No, he's not listening right now.
Yes.
Maybe.
Clever girl. Clever girl. Happy 11th to Alexis Lou, a.k.a. Lulu Jesus, from her biggest fan, Dadpool Jesus. Austin is also turning 11 today. Happy birthday to you, Austin. From your dad, Kidney Stone Jesus, and that's 93X News.
Randy Shaver.
That is the gentleman who showed me his butthole.
On the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Pulled as hard as she could, and she went, oh. I did myself, so can you not get my ass? Yeah. Thank you. Sorry.
That's just terrible. We're going to get to that in just a minute. First, we have to say hello, Randy. Hello, Brad.
Hello, Brad. Hello, Randy.
What's going on, boys? The audio right there. Oh, it's a hell of a deal. Just a terrible thing. There's a video going round and round, like they do. In the video, you hear a woman's voice. That is the voice of a triathlete lady. So remind me now, they roller skate, they canoe for a stretch of time, and then they close it out with a jog.
That's correct.
Yeah, something like that.
Kind of wrong.
The triathlon.
A lot wrong.
That was a triathlete lady just wrapping up her race, video camera rolling on her as she's running for the finish line. And maybe you couldn't follow it, but she pleads with the cameraman who's filming her, not to show her from behind because she had pooed herself right at the finish line.
Here's that clip again.
As hard as she could, and she went, I myself. So can you not get my ass? Thank you. Sorry.
I just myself, she says. Can you not get my ass? And you heard the cameraman, and good for them, good for him, her, whoever, the cameraman, right, Josh?
Oh, yeah, and he was they totally understand.
They followed her request, and they only shot her from the waist up.
He had a chance to be super petty.
So for any normal person who's done that, isn't it nice to know an Olympian can also poop their pants with exertion?
Right.
Even the best in the world, it still happens to them.
Again, I'm really proud of the cameraman because the way we operate now these days, we don't have any respect for one another. Especially when it comes to, say a guy with a position like a cameraman, he probably wants to go viral and all that stuff. The fact that he took her request seriously and did not film her from behind, that guy, someone needs to buy him a beer.
Yeah, I agree.
The gal won the damn race. She's a world champion triathlete by the name of Taylor Knibb. Maybe you've heard of her. Good for that lady for winning the race.
Ain't you that lady that pooped her pants?
I have a feeling there's a lot of that type of thing that happens in those races.
Oh, you have a feeling? We know for sure that it's the truth.
Yeah, I would think so. And not just at the finish line.
No.
I got a feeling it happens.
I mean, not to break it down medically speaking either, but you're not eating things before those type of things that are going to cause, you're not putting in a 10-ounce ribeye. You're putting in things inside you that are going to come out quicker, too.
A lot of liquid.
Yeah.
Oh, Randy Shaver, no, we've heard story upon story that these marathons and triathlons, it's all diarrhea and bleeding nipples.
I had a friend, actually, the other day, he, posted a collage of his photos from he runs marathons, and the theme of this collage was accidents that have happened while he was running a marathon, and all the pictures were of him running while peeing. Basically, no. He's it happens
peeing?
Happens all the time.
I haven't heard that one.
Instead of stopping,
so kind of on purpose.
Yeah,
yep. Not in that. Gotcha. Better than Dana at Mario Kart. Jesus said it takes less exertion the older you get. He said his grandpa went down to grab something one time and grabbed himself when he bent down.
Oh, yeah.
That's not fair.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's little resistance the older you get.
Yeah, the marathon for me would be walking to my mailbox.
that ring kind of wears out, doesn't it, Randy?
Yes.
It does. It has less and less resistance.
I was hoping people who I was more talking to athletes when they poop themselves. I thought it might make them feel better to know that even the best of the best it happens to, so don't feel shame. Well, Pull Tab Voyeur Sheezes disagrees. She said, yes, an Olympian running a triathlon pooping herself is the same as that happening to me when I sneeze. No, that doesn't make me feel better. I more meant if you were exerting yourself, but I understand what you're saying.
Marcus Foligno coming up here in about 22 minutes, everybody. Till then, let's jaw jack up and down about other things. I have some fascinating stats from the National Football League. The National Football League. Have you watched a few games this year, Josh?
Yes, plenty, tons.
Randy Shaver, you still follow
of course.
that league?
Of course.
Okay.
He's in 75. Yeah, he's in 75 fantasy leagues.
All right, here's some fascinating stats from the National Football League. The 3-7 New Orleans Saints have spent more time leading in ball games this year than the Kansas City Chiefs, who are 9-1.
Oh, wow.
That's funny. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So I haven't seen the Chiefs play yet. I saw maybe one quarter.
Lucky you.
But Mahomes seems to be getting a lot of crap. So how bad is he playing?
His stats haven't been great this year.
Yeah,
Like,
not
what
as
does
great
that
as he
mean?
usually is.
But I think that they've made sure that their defense is still intact, and that's obviously what's winning them some games and keeping them in games a little bit.
Yeah,
He hasn't had to be the guy that's thrown for 350 yards and 4 touchdowns every game because their defense is good enough.
I haven't watched him play either, Josh. I can't stomach it anymore. So
I'm with you on that.
What do you say, Randy Shaver?
I would just say that he doesn't have the receivers around him because of injuries. Rice is out and guys like that. He doesn't have the complementary players around him like he has in the past. And they've relied quite a bit on a running game with Kareem Hunt and some other players. And so they've quietly, if you can do it quietly, they've been pretty nondescript right now, and he has not been throwing the ball as much for scores as he has in the past.
He doesn't need to.
Here's your next interesting stat. The Cincinnati Bengals currently have the league leaders in passing yards, passing touchdowns, receptions, receiving yards, receiving touchdowns, quarterback sacks, and they're going to miss the playoffs.
Well, they've had to throw almost all the time because they've been behind in games. So you can understand why the stats are what they are. And it's Jamar Chase. I mean, he's next to our guy. He's the best receiver in the league. So you can understand why he's getting the ball as much as he is. And they just have not played well defensively enough. They can't stop anybody.
They've wet the bed once or twice, haven't they?
They really have, yeah.
Chicago
But
Bears.
again,
Yes, Randy.
It's like what I've said in the past, though, too. They always seem to get off to a terrible start. They're always 0-2, 1-3, 2-4, whatever it is to start the season. Then they take off, and that takeoff hasn't happened. And they've lost a couple of close games here lately.
Well, their last game, who did they play? San Diego, Los Angeles Chargers.
The Chargers.
Okay,
Yep,
that should have been their takeoff game. That should have been their turn the season around game.
Yep.
And it ended up in a trough. It ended up in a toilet. Okay, Caleb.
And then they lost to the Ravens by 1, too. I mean, that was a heartbreaking loss.
Caleb Willem is the starting quarterback for the Chicago Bears, the Vikings' next opponent, right?
Yes.
Correct.
Yeah.
All right, here, how about this stat? On October 13th, Caleb Williams had 9 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. On November 20th, Caleb Williams has 9 touchdowns and 5 interceptions.
So he hasn't thrown an interception either.
In a league where passing is top of mind for every team, even the Bears, that's pretty bad. That's pretty sad.
Wins at AT&T Stadium in Dallas this year. Jake Paul 1, Dallas Cowboys 0.
Even the U.S. soccer team has won 3 games in that stadium this year.
And this is not a stat, but I just wanted to get your vibe on this, Randy Shaver, Brad Ryder. Randy Ryder, Brad Shaver, whatever combination. The Super Bowl America wants. Agree or disagree? From the National Football Conference.
The what now?
The Super Bowl.
He's saying the Super Bowl that
America wants.
People would want.
I see the matchup. Okay.
Yeah.
Agree or disagree? From the NFC, the Detroit Lions.
Yes.
From the AFC, the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I think that would be entertaining.
That would be intriguing. Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
I find that entertaining.
Dana would disagree. He would say Buffalo.
I would say Buffalo.
No, the Buffalo's right in the same bucket as the Chiefs. We've seen enough. We've had enough.
But if you're going for two markets that really haven't been there, I think if you're going for two markets that haven't been there and people can kind of get behind and get excited about, I like Buffalo and Detroit.
You're talking about haven't been there. Buffalo's been there 4 times.
No, they haven't. Well, not recently.
It doesn't matter. Buffalo's in the same bucket as the friggin' Chiefs. Enough for me.
I don't think it matters on the AFC side. As long as Detroit gets there.
As long as Kansas City's not there, that matters.
Yeah. Well,
God, does that ever matter?
Actually, I would enjoy it if Kansas City got there and the Lions pummeled them. So that wouldn't make me feel bad at all.
Nick, you probably wouldn't want to have Docker's guy there either.
Who?
The Chargers.
Jim Harbaugh.
Oh, I don't know. That'd be kind of entertaining, too.
I hate the guy, Brad Ryder, but I've always loved the
I just
Chargers.
don't want the L.A. vibe again. I mean, we've had enough of that.
The L.A. vibe? Yeah. Sure. Okay, so I could live with the Lions and the Steelers.
Yeah, Russell Wilson. Let's go.
Here's something I imagine you two...
Unlimited.
Yeah, who doesn't love Russell Wilson?
I'm going to get behind the Buffalo angle. I want the two lonesome loser teams.
Thanks, Brad.
I would love it.
Venmo is coming.
If you want real lonesome losers.
Well, you can throw the Vikings in there, too, so then you'll be
They had their chance, too. No one wants to see the Vikings in the Super Bowl. If you want to talk sincerely, purely lonesome losers, teams that haven't been there, then you got to go Detroit, Cleveland.
Correct.
I mean, and obviously Cleveland doesn't have much of a chance. They don't have. No. But if that's specifically what we're talking about, then the ultimate answer is Detroit Lions and Cleveland Browns. Here's something I imagine you two NFL fans could go back and forth with. Now, keep in mind, this was written up a week ago because was it a week ago that the NFL officially reached the halfway point, mathematically speaking? Okay.
Yes.
This was CBS Sports and their mid-season NFL report. The good and the bad and the this and the that. Which team has been the most disappointing? There was voting involved here. I think all of the writers from CBS Sports put in a vote for all these different categories. The team that's been the most disappointing, the top vote getter was the New York Jets. New York Jets. Huh?
I would say the Dallas Cowboys.
Okay, they got the second most votes.
Yeah. I mean, the Jets are the Jets. I just, they're going to be bad. I'm sorry.
Which team has overachieved the most? The easy answer there was the Commodores.
Oh, yeah.
The Washington Commodores and the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I would also say the Denver Broncos in that category, too.
Well, the top 5 in the overachieving ball clubs went Commodores, Steelers, Vikings, Cardinals, Chargers. Which player has been the most disappointing? Go ahead, Randy Shaver, Brad Ryder.
The most in the league?
Yeah, in the whole league. I think it's an easy answer. Karen.
Yep.
Oh.
Well, yeah, but I didn't have expectations for Karen.
Well, the writers from CBS Sports did.
Not sure you can pin the 40-year-old as being the most disappointing.
Yeah, I can't do that. I didn't expect him to have a
followed
good
by
year.
Trevor Lawrence and Deshaun Watson.
I think they're probably going
See,
because he was injured last year.
I'd say Deshaun Watson for sure.
I think everyone's going because Aaron Rodgers was injured so early last year, and they wanted to see what he could do with the Jets.
Well, I don't know. But you define that as early in the season?
I'm not sure how you can say Trevor.
The fourth snap of the first game.
I mean, you got a totally different idea as to what early means.
I'm not sure how you can say Trevor Lawrence is disappointing either. He's been hurt. How's he supposed to?
4 snaps in game one. You call that early.
Yeah, people aren't even in their seats.
Which player's been the most pleasant surprise, Jaden Daniels of the Commodores?
Yes.
Yeah.
Which teams could struggle in the second half of the season? Oh, no. Well, they went with, again, this article popped up a week ago. Which teams could struggle in the second half of the season? They named the Steelers. Well, I think the Steelers won their most recent ball game, did they not?
Yeah, they beat the Ravens.
They named the Vikings. Well, the Vikings won their last ball game. They also went ahead with the Bears and the Atlanta Falcons.
Well, the Bears are already disappointing now, so the second half doesn't matter.
And which team could break out in the second half of the season? Again, the report is a week old. They named the Cincinnati Bengals as a team that could break, but they had their chance last week. We already covered that. The other clubs would be the Buccaneers and the 49ers.
I would say the Texans, too, maybe.
Could break out in the second half of the season.
Yeah, I would say the Chargers are a team to watch for that, too.
Oh, sure. I'll be watching. I can guarantee you that. Randy Shaver, Minnesota football player, the All-Minnesota Football Player of the Year.
Yes, Kevon Johnson.
Robbinsdale Armstrong. Is that still what they call the school?
Yep, Kevon Johnson.
Yeah, you know the kid. What position does he play? What college is he going to go to?
He's a running back. I'm not sure if he is committed to a school yet. I guess I don't have that in front of me.
Okay.
He's a great running back.
All right.
Great kid, too.
Armstrong High School.
Yeah, I think he's still looking at what he's going to do for college at this point. He's a very good academic student, but I think he's still undecided about school.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything.
Well, first thing I'd do if I were him is I'd change positions.
I'm sorry?
I'd change positions if I were him. Running backs, they're not really utilized anymore.
Oh, in high school they are.
Well, in high school, yes, but I'm talking college, and if he has aspirations to play pros,
even in college, the running backs are utilized a lot more.
You guys need to settle down.
Yeah.
Fascinating article here from a website called SBNation.com about an NBA player who keeps missing wide-open dunks. Because, we could do that.
Is that? I was wondering.
If I could get up there. Yeah.
You could get up there.
Is that probably the most embarrassing thing?
Oh, yeah.
I would say that or shooting an air ball at the free throw line.
It kind of seems like people miss free throws quite often.
No, air ball. I'm talking about air ball.
We understand what an air ball is. And here's where I agree with Josh. Free throw shooting is so horrible now these days compared to 30, 35 years ago. No one really cares. Miss a couple of it aggravates the hell out of me. But, the dunk is the move in the NBA.
Yeah, it's flashy. It's an exclamation point.
It gets the crowd on their feet. If you make a couple of free throws, the crowd does this. Oh, yeah, you made a couple of... if you can dunk, the crowd falls in love with you. So, yeah, I agree with Josh. If you miss a dunk, you're a friggin' jackass.
Williams misfires at the rim. Beautiful feed. Williams couldn't flush it home. Williams was trying to jam it down. He misfired it.
This video is so interesting because I've never seen a breakdown like this. Guy's name is Patrick Williams, plays for the Chicago Bulls. They're calling him the king of the missed dunk. There's a video montage that shows you his misses at the rim this season. Now, to be fair, one should have been registered as a block shot, but it's very interesting how he continues to miss effing dunks. He's in the 5th year of his NBA career. He did recently sign a 5-year, $90 million extension with the Chicago Bulls. And he's missing dunks. He's missed 5 of 7 dunk attempts.
That sucks.
Maybe he should stop.
7 times he's just had to jump up and just ram that basketball through the hoop. He's missed 5 of them.
Oh, dude, this poor guy.
I wonder if his three-point percentage is higher than that.
I don't know, Brad Ryder. What's really funny is he finally landed a dunk in the Bulls' 12th game of the season after snapping a few of them off the back of the rim, right? It goes sailing to midcourt. His teammates, what the hell? How did you miss a dunk? He finally got one to go through. Head coach of the Chicago Bulls, Billy Donovan, said he almost called a timeout to celebrate.
Give him the game ball.
That Williams finally properly dunked a basketball.
But I never thought he looked ridiculous. It didn't look like this guy doesn't know how to dunk a basketball. It just didn't really work out for him. Most of them he looked... There's a couple I was surprised it didn't go in. I couldn't figure it out.
He didn't look ridiculous.
Yeah, he didn't look bad.
He just somehow... At any rate... Now, folks did a deeper dive into this. What's his name again? Patrick Williams. Yeah. And they say he's been doing this his whole career. The focus was on this season because people started to notice the first 12, 14 games of the season, this guy keeps missing slam dunks. Apparently, he's done this his entire career, a Bulls beat reporter by the name of Drew Stevens did a deep dive and found out that Patrick Williams is only a 63% shooter on dunks for his career.
Stop trying to dunk.
That cannot
Just
be.
give it up.
That, to me, that's not mathematically possible.
I know, it's so weird.
I feel bad for the kid. He's getting picked on like this.
His three-pointer percent is .409, so that's higher than his dunk percentage.
Well, it's fun to watch if you can catch this video. They say here, a Patrick Williams dunk attempt is a worse bet than a Giannis Antetokounmpo free throw.
You can see the dunk attempts on 93x.com, too.
Yeah, it's fun. Patrick Riley, I don't know why I called him by his full name. Pat Riley's getting a statue. So Chris Paul is a cone. Pat Riley will soon be a statue.
Hopefully it looks better than Dwayne Wade.
For which team?
For the Los Angeles Lakers.
Okay.
Brad Riley.
I was going to say he could get one in Miami, too.
He certainly could. Yeah, certainly could.
So the Lakers announced they'll be building a Pat Riley statue outside their arena, where there are already 12 statues in place.
And now the Lakers can do whatever they want because that arena is all theirs. They don't have to worry about, splitting time with the Clippers and all that kind of stuff, too.
Okay, we got Marcus Foligno coming up in a couple of minutes, but Randy Shaver, Brad Ryder. There are 7 Lakers-related statues, 4 Los Angeles Kings-related statues, and 1 boxing-related statue out front of the Lakers/Kings arena. Can you name them? Go.
All 11?
Jerry West.
Shaquille O'Neal.
Where the hell's my bell? Okay, Jerry West, Shaquille O'Neal.
Kobe
Bryant.
Wayne Gretzky.
Luke Robitaille.
Luke Robitaille is another.
Muhammad Ali.
How did you pull Luke Robitaille out of your ass? Even Luke Robitaille never wanted to hear his own name out loud.
Did you say Magic Johnson?
No one said Magic Johnson.
How about Muhammad Ali?
No.
Oh.
But it's boxing related. You're right. Like I said, there's 1 boxing related. I'll give you a hint. Women's lingerie. Keep going.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Yes.
That's not the lingerie, but...
No.
Hot if it was, though.
The 2 L.A. Kings-related statues that you haven't mentioned. One you'll never get. A fellow by the name of Bob Miller. He called Kings games for many, many years.
Oh, no.
The other is... I'll tell you the other Kings-related one because you'll never get it. Dustin Brown.
Oh, my God.
Solid player for a lot of years and won a couple of cups.
Did you say Elgin Baylor?
I was surprised that Dustin Brown is a stat. Did the guy
I didn't
die?
say
Did
Elgin
he die
Baylor.
or something?
Good one,
Elgin Baylor, yes.
Yes.
How about, I heard this a few years back, Chick Hearn, their announcer, I think got one, didn't he?
Yep, I think you got them all now, with the exception of the boxing-related statue out front of the Kings arena.
Jim Lampley.
Jim Lampley, the legendary announcer. Good guess. No, I thought...
Where'd you pull that one from?
The hint I gave you was women's lingerie because I thought there was an infamous video for a few years ago, maybe not that long ago, where he was dancing around drunk wearing ladies' underwear.
Yes. Yeah. Right.
I want to say...
him and his super hot girlfriend.
Yeah, not that long ago.
Yeah.
Sugar.
Yep.
Not,
This year, I think.
I don't know.
Tyson.
Oscar De La Hoya.
Oh,
yeah, I remember that video.
Why did they pick him? Well, the boxer.
He's a Los Angeles area guy, I believe.
Okay.
Brad Ryder, I don't want to hear your complaints about L.A. statues.
Say that to his face, Brad.
Yeah, say it to Oscar's face when you get a chance.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, our guest is early. Welcome to the program, Marcus Bydam Foligno from the Minnesota Wild. Marcus?
How we doing?
Hey, morning.
You don't sound so good, Marcus.
You guys hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
Yeah, you are.
Oh, okay, sorry.
I assume you're just coming to in your hotel room or your house or something. How you feeling this morning after a big win in Missouri?
We're feeling good. Yeah, it was a good win last night for the guys on the road. Started the road trip off on a positive note, and obviously just to play a Central Division team too and get a win is huge. So, good little rebound game from Dallas.
Always nice to beat a a division rival. Are you at home? Did you guys fly out of there last night? Where are you?
We got to stay over, and then we got to go to Edmonton, so we kind of stayed over after the game. It's a long travel to Edmonton. We probably get in around like 3 a.m. or something if we did last night. So fly out this morning.
That's kind of nice, right? Wouldn't you rather just crash in some dirty hotel room than get on that friggin' airplane and not get there until 3 o'clock in the...
Yeah, way better setup. We just got to hang out after the game, not rush, or not worried about packing your stuff up. So it's nice. You get a little morning just to relax and hop on a bird and then get to the next destination.
And I'm kidding, of course. You guys don't you don't stay in dirty hotel rooms. So how many beds are available to you right now?
In my room, I have about 3 king-size beds. I could hop from one to the other. I take all the other beds from all the rookies. That's what I do.
That's awesome.
They sleep on the floor.
But then again, there are some people who consider all hotel rooms filthy and get really, queasy about it. Have you ever gotten out the black light or anything, Marcus, when you go?
No, that's what I'm scared of. I'd rather just not know.
You'd rather not
put some towels down on the carpet and just walk on those.
Been in some bad ones though, like maybe when you were a younger guy. Did you stay in some bad ones?
Oh yeah, we in the American Hockey League they don't really give you the luxurious hotels. So I remember when I was playing in the AHL, you're at like the old school. It's paper thin walls and stiff beds, and yeah, it's a little bit rough, but. This is a little bit step up. We're at the Ritz-Carlton, so it's a little bit nice.
Oh, yeah, that could be nice.
What a life.
Yeah,
It's not too bad.
I got to tell you, that's part of what I miss about traveling with the Timberwolves is you don't get to stay in those when you're traveling for personal business.
What was the fanciest joint you stayed in, Brad? Right?
We used to stay at the Four Seasons and stuff like that all the time.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
Yeah.
Brad, did you ever...
I'm not complaining.
No. Brad, did you ever order a lady?
No.
Yeah, he had one in the room waiting for him.
Such a waste.
No. Never did that.
Or were they waiting in there for you?
They weren't waiting for me. I traveled with professional basketball players.
They got to find their in somehow.
They're not waiting for a 50-year-old out of shape guy. They're waiting for the guy who's making $25 million a year. Like Marcus. No.
Marcus, the good-looking rookie kids, do they have the ladies waiting for them at the hotel sometimes?
No, not really. These guys are different. They're playing the video games now, so they're occupied.
They're occupied with social media and the damn video games, aren't they?
Yep. Times have changed.
Times have changed.
Marcus, disappointment in his voice.
Yeah, that's not
Marcus,
right.
I'm disappointed.
Marcus, I'm the former equivalent of Aaron Sickman. So picture a lady waiting for Aaron Sickman at the hotel.
Yeah, that's right. I not to make fun of you, but I could never see that. So
you're right. That's what you made my point. You made my point.
Oh, he's a charming guy. I bet he'd do just fine.
Imagine a lady. Well, I can imagine one lady. It would be for Sickman. It would be his mother, and she has a thermos full of soup for him.
yeah, that's
And
right.
hot chocolate, maybe.
It's a family member.
Yep, she's got some vitamin C so he doesn't catch a cold on the road or something like that.
Yeah. Probably bringing him his favorite pajamas.
Right.
Oh my God.
Last time we talked, we did have a little conversation about music. I remember asking you about music in the locker room. I don't know if this is going to mean anything to you. A really strange report written up by a website called Bleacher Report. They came up with one song to sum up every NHL team's season so far. And by the way, congratulations, you guys are doing wonderfully so far.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
So,
what was the song?
Yeah, I just wanted to throw it at you in case you know it. One song to sum up every NHL season, every NHL team's season so far. They chose a song, I've never heard of any of this stuff, a song called Let Me Love You by someone called Mario.
Oh, my gosh, yes.
Yeah, you know what? Not a bad song. I just don't know how that relates to what's it saying? Was there a background description on why they chose that song?
Yes, I'll tell you more. It's not much more, but I'll tell you. So you know the song Let Me Love You by Mario?
Yeah, it's a good serenading your woman type song, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Brad.
Well, I think it's a high school dance floor song.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
That's,
it's pretty
that's
good.
where I heard it.
It's not bad.
What was it?
Good song.
Is it Mario? Who was Mario from Saved by the Bell? What was his name?
Mario Lopez?
Is that
Mario
Mario?
Lopez.
Is that who that's not who Mario?
Different
is?
Mario.
Oh,
No.
okay.
This is just like Mario. It's just one word, one name.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Not the Saved by the Bell guy, not the plumber from the video games.
Yeah.
Not
But I can see Mario Lopez singing this song and doing just fine about it with the ladies. So.
Oh, I'm sure you're right.
Not Lemieux, not Tremblay, none of those Marios. Okay. Okay.
No, unfortunately.
Here's the background, Marcus. This is why Bleacher Report says "Let Me Love You" by Mario applies to your hockey team's season so far. It says here, "You should let me love you, Minnesota Wild. Please be legit this time." So it's kind of a smart-ass comment.
They want us to get past the first round, is what they're saying.
I think so. Allow us to love you a little longer.
Allow
this
us to
season.
love you.
Yes.
I like it. I'll be playing that in the room tomorrow morning for pregame skate.
I might get a couple
We'll be blaring. I'm going to be blaring that now, and hopefully some other media member can catch on, and that'll be the thing that's driving our season along this year.
I'm very happy that you know the song. This would have come to a complete halt if you just said, I don't know what the heck. But,
yeah, no, it's a good one.
Let the boys know.
I might not have some guys that want to sit next to me in the locker room, but I'll keep playing.
All right, Marcus Foligno. Your thoughts. This is something we've been waiting to talk to you about for a couple of weeks. Your thoughts on the Lady Byng Trophy.
The Lady Byng Trophy is given out to the player that is most well behaved.
Yeah. Gentlemanly is the word they use, Marcus.
Yeah, they got to get rid of it. It's just, I don't understand it. Like, they give it to like the guys that like are like respect. Like, yeah, I don't know. Does any other league do that?
Not that I'm aware of.
Well, they might call it something else, like a community service award or something.
Right.
No, here's something I just thought of.
Way of just keeping it that way.
Yeah.
Here's something I just thought of, Brad Ryder. In Major League Baseball, don't they have the Media Good Guy Award?
Yeah.
Come on.
They do.
Yes.
Yeah,
They do. I mean, the difference,
I feel like if you got the Media Good Guy Award, you get made fun of in our league pretty good.
For sure.
But no, I just think the Lady Byng is just.
You could rename the award or something.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like a guy who doesn't have a lot of penalty minutes, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
At the end of the day. Which, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I think they got to get rid of that award. I don't know.
Just end it.
Doesn't really do it for me.
Okay, and that's why we were interested in your take, because you are an enforcer. You're a physical player. That's the role you play very well, and so we certainly wanted to get your take on.
But if you looked at my penalty minutes right now, I'd be up for Lady Byng right now. That's what I'll care.
But you
only have 4 penalty minutes on the season. I got to start getting my rep up here again.
4?
4. That's it. I'm going for the Lady Byng this year. That was my goal. I can't go for the most points.
Who votes on that?
I'm going for the nicest person award. That's what I'm doing.
Well, you know who we talked to?
I got to get some type of trophy before the Stanley Cup.
That would be nice. You know who we talked to about this? We talked to your former teammate, Zach Parisi. We were actively making fun of the Lady Byng Award, just like you were a couple of minutes ago. We were actively making fun of the Lady Byng on air, and we got a text from Zach saying, hey, I was up for the Lady Byng Award in the year 2008. So we had a fun conversation with Zach, and I think Zach said, if you get in a single fight, you're automatically ineligible for the Lady Byng.
They're crazy. Yeah, he's right. He's probably right, yeah. If you show any competitive fierceness, meanness, you're done. Lady Byng is not for you.
You're not cut out for the Lady Byng lifestyle.
Crazy. But, yeah, that's a trophy I probably will never be up for.
Mm-hmm. Well,
is there someone
they
on your team? Is there someone on your team right now who would be eligible for that?
Oh, probably Freddie Gaudreau. He's the nicest human being in the world. It's crazy.
Fred might he might be the guy, huh?
Freddie Gaudreau. Probably,
What about your goaltender there, Fleury?
Yeah, that's for sure.
Maybe
Has a goalie ever won the Lady Bing?
I don't know if they I would imagine they're eligible for it. I don't know. God knows, like Billy Smith and Ron Hextall were never up for the.
Yeah, those guys are definitely out of it probably after the first game of the season.
Game one.
So no goaltender has ever won the award.
Really?
No, I think it's too easy. It'd be an easy pick if that was the reason, because they don't really talk to the referees. They don't yell back. I mean, some of them do, but they're not getting in altercations all the time.
Yeah, most goalies, they're kind of odd, right? They kind of keep to themselves and hug the pipes and pray for the best. Now, Fred Gaudreau, you mentioned he's the nicest guy in the world. Is he one of those guys where he's almost nice to a fault, where you and the boys kind of walk on him now and again?
We're starting to pick at him a little bit just on how nice he is.
Yeah.
But we don't go too far. He cares about what people. If he sees you struggling or whatever, or if your guys are a little bit hard on someone, he'll come over and talk to you. He's just one of those guys. He's like the healing power on the team almost, but he's an awesome guy. So he's just he loves the game and just loves coming to the rink and stuff. So he's always positive every day.
I think Janelle Klein would be our
Yes.
100%.
Easily.
The only
She'd
one.
be she's your Lady Bing.
Yeah.
She's one of the best people I've ever met.
Well, where I'm going with that is Janelle is so nice that it almost hampers her.
Pisses you off?
Well, we pick on her. Like when she's at the what do you call that thing, Josh? You put money in it and food comes out.
The snack machine?
When we're at the vending machine, if Janelle's going for that last bag of Doritos, we can just hip-check her ass out of the way and take it ourselves because she's so nice, she's not going to do anything to retaliate.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
100%.
Yeah.
Something.
We had a guy on our team. His name is Brad Hunt. He's another one of the nicest human beings in the world. But every morning, he was like the chippiest person in the morning. Like it would be a snowstorm just to get to the rink. And we'd be on like a losing streak, and it didn't matter. This guy was coming to the rink, and he would say, if you walked by him in the hallway, he had to say, hi, how are you? And then it got to a point where guys would walk past him in the hallway, and they would just look at Brad and go, not today. And they just keep walking by. So sometimes niceness can just really tick some people off almost. But
we don't need your cheeriness
Right.
this morning, Brad Hunt.
Not today, Brad. Not today. And just keep walking by.
And he would just suck it up.
He would just like, hey. Oh, sorry. Yeah, you're right.
All right. I'm sorry. Just going to sneak right by you here.
Nicest guy ever. Every day, just, hey, how are you doing? Good to see you. You're like, I saw you 20 hours ago at our last game, buddy.
You got to have those people. You got to have those people in your life.
Got to have those guys, though. They keep the room light. They keep it funny.
Hey, how's your teammate Zuccarello doing? We heard terrible things.
He's we thought he was going to lose one nut, but he actually it survived. He's got them both still, so that's good.
He's keeping them both.
Poor guy got hit in the sun don't shine and ruptured his testicle. So surgery and yeah, he's doing good. I thought he wore a jock, but the jock had a massive dent in it. It was hilarious, but it was funny after. Now that he's okay.
Okay.
Send it to the Hockey Hall of Fame.
We were talking about him a couple of days ago. So he took a puck to the seeds, and it dented his cup.
It dented his cup. But it was a wrist shot too, so I cannot imagine what would happen if he had a slap shot at him.
Mm-hmm. But yet he's going to.
Brock Faber owes him dinner. That's all I know. He's the one that shot it.
Faber was the one who fired the puck. So, but he's keeping both of his pills. So that's wonderful news.
Yeah, he's got both of them still, so he's good. So he's coming around. But I think he's one of those positions where he can't even lift anything.
Yeah,
so he's out for a couple of weeks.
That'll keep a guy in bed for a stretch of time.
Yeah.
I can't imagine the pain.
Yeah.
And when we were talking about Zuccarello and his issue a couple days ago, we have this conversation a lot when it comes to Major League Baseball. Hard to believe that there are Major League Baseball infielders who have to look at 120-mile-per-hour line drives and such for 162 games a year. It's hard to believe there are some of them that do not wear a cup because they find it uncomfortable. You tell us, Marcus Foligno, you're in the friggin' locker room. Are there any of your teammates who say, yeah, I know the risks, but I ain't wearing a cup out there because it aggravates me or it's uncomfortable?
I think everyone in our league wears a cup. That's, to me, is crazy about baseball. I thought all those guys in the infield.
That's what we were talking about, yeah.
Like, that's insane. But because a grounder would just come up and, like, take a weird bounce and hit you right up in there. But for us, like, for me, like, it's not even about, like, getting hit with a puck. It's more like guys spearing you and lifting. Like, some guys are pretty nasty. They'll just, like, put their stick between your legs and lift up. So,
yeah.
Yeah, it's more like that. And then, obviously, I don't want to be in front of the net battling someone and take a weird turn and the puck's right there and hits you in the pills. So I think the majority of our guys, I think everyone wears a cup in our league.
That's good to know. That's good to know.
Oh, yeah.
It's frightening to think that there's anyone that would take that chance. And, we told the story, 2 weeks ago, last week, about Adrian Beltre of the Texas Rangers. I mean, he took a line drive to the seeds, and one of them just imploded, and it was never seen again. It was gone forever. It was. Adios. All right, something else we covered recently, Marcus Foligno, we wanted your take on. So Alexander Ovechkin is creeping up on Gretzky's all-time goal record.
Crazy.
I know.
Crazy.
So are you cheering for the guy, or are you one of those that would say, well, I don't want to see the record broken because it's Gretzky and this or that? I'm guessing there are people on both sides of this conversation.
No, I'm all for it. I'm all for him breaking the record. I think it's unbelievable to witness history, and it's pretty amazing. You got a guy that can do it 800-plus times, and I don't know, he hasn't. The craziest thing about Ovi is, like, he hasn't, like, changed his position on, like, how he scores his goals,
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's the guy on the power play that sits at the top of the half circle and stands there and stands there and stands there. They feed it to him. He just one times it goes in. It's just crazy. He's been able to do it for so long. But I'm a big fan of just, witnessing history, and that'd be pretty. If he's going to do it, and it's going to be pretty special. And I just hope he doesn't do it against us. That's it. I think that's the biggest thing. Everyone wants to see him do it, but no one wants to see him do it against their team.
Well, but if Ovi and the Capitals hit that mark against you boys, you're going to be on ESPN Classic until the day that you die. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hopefully it's like we're winning 6-something, and he just gets his cookie, and then that's it.
It doesn't count for anything else.
That'll be good.
Gets his cookie. You're right about how, it's not as if he's had to dramatically change his game to keep up with the times or whatever. Alexander Ovechkin, you're right. He just kind of hovers on the power play and waits for that one-timer opportunity. There's only one player that I've ever watched that was as devastating as Alexander Ovechkin in that position, on the power play, waiting for that one-time pass. And despite the fact that everyone knew it was coming, it would still get past the goaltender, and that was Brett Hull.
Oh, yeah. He was unreal. He scored, like, he just powered it by guys and got his shot off so quick. He was like the best goal scorer.
And he was.
That's all he did.
And he was.
That's all he did was just score goals.
By no means anywhere near the biggest and strongest guy on the ice either, but Brett Hull would just laser that sumbitch. It drove me nuts when I was a kid because I hated his guts. He played for all the wrong teams, but yeah, Brett Hull and Alexander Ovechkin, I'd compare the two of them in that category.
I was at a Buffalo Sabres fan when I was younger, and then I was at the game Game 6 against Dallas Stars when his foot was in the crease.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, I got a little bit of love-hate with Brett Hull, but, still an unbelievable goal scorer. But that was, I remember I went to sleep. I was in the stands that game, and I actually fell asleep, and I woke up, and Dallas Stars was cheering in the corner. So I was like, what? It was insane.
How old of a kid were you in '99? I remember that game like it was yesterday.
I was 8.
And so you're with your folks and whatnot, and you friggin' fell smooth asleep at Game 6 of the Stanley Cup Finals.
Yeah, it was what? It was 3 overtimes, 4?
Oh, it was a long one. I don't recall, but it must have been 1 o'clock in the morning out there in Buffalo.
Yeah, way past my bedtime. So But I got to see the Stanley Cup, but just they got handed to the wrong team that night, unfortunately.
Oh, man. See, I was cheering.
And that was the last time Buffalo Sabres ever seen the playoffs, but that was it.
I'll be damned. So, I mean, that was a great series. And that was a great game. You had Dominic Hasek out there in net for the Sabres. You had Ed Belfour for the Stars. You had guys like Mike Modano, Joe Nieuwendyk, of course, Hall, Sergei Zubov. Who were the Sabres guns at that? Stu Barnes. Who am I missing from this? Alexander McGillney, Miroslav Shatar.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
Well,
they had like just a hard-working team.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't really have like the crazy superstars. Like, they had some good guys, but geez, I'm trying to think of like who their top scorer was.
God, yeah. Was it Shatan or McGillney? Or maybe McGillney had moved on at that point.
Yeah.
Tiny little guy.
Michael Pekka, maybe?
Pekka had to have been out there.
Yeah.
Maybe Eric Rasmussen here from St. Louis Park, Minnesota, I think might have been on that roster. Is anyone else on the air? Is it just me and Marcus boring the hell out of everybody?
We're just talking up Buffalo Sabres hockey.
Yeah. Marcus, thanks again. Good luck in Edmonton here in a couple of nights. It's always a good time, man.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Have a great day.
Have a happy Thanksgiving.
You too.
Yeah, man. We
forgot. All you guys. Happy Thanksgiving.
You too. I forgot to ask him about Thanksgiving, Cubby.
Yeah, I wonder what he's up to. Let's see.
I didn't check the schedule.
I'm pulling up the schedule right now.
I didn't check the schedule.
They're off.
Well,
they usually have a game either Thanksgiving day after or that weekend.
You're right. It's almost. I think every year in that club's existence, they've had a home game the afternoon after Thanksgiving. That's right. See, Brad,
I know my hockey.
You're a hockey guy. Randy Shaver, where were you when we were trying to come up with members of the 1999 Buffalo Sabres?
What do you mean, where was I?
Exactly. State of hockey, my ass.
It looks like they play Buffalo the day before Thanksgiving.
That's it. We're in the twilight zone. Randy and Brad, thank you guys very much.
All right.
You bet.
Get going again. We'll be back in a few minutes here on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
There's a douchiness to them. The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
It is that time of the year at Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Winter's arrived, and with the holidays around the corner, it's the perfect time for Standard Heating's Black Friday Comfort Countdown specials. And right now is the time to become a Smart Club member and get your furnace in top shape before winter comes. Schedule your tune-up, boost your indoor air quality, or grab huge deals on a new system. Do not wait. Visit standardheating.com today. Comfort you deserve since 1930.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever find yourself playing the budgeting game? Well, with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive, you can find options that fit your budget and potentially lower your bills. Try it at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. Not available in all states.
Welcome to Talkville, the ultimate Smallville rewatch podcast.
Lionel Luthor stops by the kid home.
Is that Seinfeld? What is the deal?
Trying to blackmail her for the footage.
Come on. He sees an envelope and goes, he must be getting blackmailed.
He's behind it, the whole thing.
He's not.
He is. He made her think she was being blackmailed.
He's the one that...
Oh,
I didn't get that.
I was surprised. Yeah. That was a great scene.
Interesting things of note.
Talkville, wherever you listen.
Half-Assed Morning Show.
You may look like a bum, but you got a lot of talent.
On 93X.
I'll tell you, Josh.
How you feeling?
You look good enough to eat this morning.
Oh, am I a snack?
Did you know that?
Are you calling me a snack?
What a hell of a deal. It's Wednesday morning. We've climbed our way all the way up to 8:33. It's 93X Rock. Welcome back to the Programski. Subreddit, Josh. Do you subreddit?
Okay, well, there's a couple Reddit threads I follow, and you'd call those subreddits.
How often do you subreddit? How much is too much subreddit?
I don't know. Maybe once a weeker.
Okay.
I'll follow up on usually kind of some nerdy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
When I get some time.
Surprising.
I don't know what that... Ashley, you're talking to a snack right here?
Yeah. What's
a
with the
little
attitude?
Respect, please.
Yeah, you're not a nerd at all. You're a snack.
Yeah, it's some nerdy stuff. It's like mostly like subreddits on certain programs, like or I guess you call them apps now, things like that.
That
Tips
sounds thrilling.
Yeah, shortcuts, you know. Like, dang, dude.
So you'll fall for it now and again.
All
You'll
right, I
go,
deserved it, Ashley.
you'll go ahead and you'll subreddit now and again. Somebody posted some interesting information on the Am I Overreacting subreddit. Okay? I'm not exactly sure what that is, but I think I can figure it out.
So those types of those subreddits and stuff, I'll see in articles, right? Somebody will do just this. They'll say, hey, check this out from this subreddit. I should start following those because, I mean, do you guys check those often?
Yes.
No, I'm same with you,
day.
Josh. I see them and pop up in articles.
Never saw it.
How much of it is garbage, Ashley, and how much, like sometimes we'll talk about the am I the a-hole one?
Right.
And there's some pretty funny stuff.
Right.
Is it always that good, Ashley, or is there, you have to really sift through it?
The majority of them are pretty good.
Are they?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't do any of this kind of stuff.
No, I'm unfamiliar. But it falls into place nicely, I think, here, because yesterday we had a lot of fun when we were talking to Randy Shaver, talking sports. We were running through the latest nonsense from Dallas Cowboys owner Jared Jones. The sun comes pouring through their windows of their ballpark there where the Dallas Cowboys play, right? This is a conversation we were having yesterday. The sun comes pouring onto the playing field, and it blinds the players on the field. But this Jared Jones is such an oversensitive prick. When someone came up with the idea of, hey, let's just pull the curtains so the boys can see, he had a dramatic overreaction, and he said, well, why don't we just knock the whole stadium over then and start up again, right?
Yeah,
right.
Dramatic, just blow it all up.
Dramatic overreaction.
So you alluded yesterday in another part of the conversation that you and your wife don't know how to cook. All right? You kind of you didn't so much say it as you alluded to it.
Yeah.
And didn't your wife respond to you via text?
She did. She texted back and said, well, then, why don't we just burn the house to the ground? Why do we even need a kitchen then? Let's destroy the kitchen.
I think that counts as an overreaction.
Yes, you're right. So it kind of plays nicely into where we're going here. What the hell did my computer just do? Okay, it's back in business. Someone posted some information, a story, in the Am I Overreacting subreddit. Here's the story. My 36-year-old boyfriend, this is a young lady speaking, my 36-year-old boyfriend of 2 years. He was in the bathroom at his apartment. I opened the door to grab my allergy medication. By the way, Josh, your mom texted me earlier. You left your acne medication at home.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Good. I'm going to text her real quick. Bring my retainer as well.
She wanted me to remind you
Yeah.
to stop by her place and pick up your acne medication. My 36-year-old boyfriend of 2 years was in the bathroom at his apartment. I opened the door to grab my allergy meds. I didn't think to knock. Well, why not? But anyway, we'll have to just move past that. I didn't think to knock and figured he'd lock the door if he needed to. When I opened the door, he was squatting while holding a wad of toilet paper directly under his ass.
Why are you not locking the door for this activity?
Like a catcher's mitt. He had wrapped a hand in toilet paper, and he's holding that directly under his ass cheeks in the squatting position. I screamed and I ran out, she says.
I wouldn't know how to respond to that either. But you're right, Ashley. If I had a habit like that, I lock the door anyway. But I'm very curious to know, is there any part of them that wanted to be caught? Nah, probably not, right?
It
just didn't think to lock it.
Interesting thought, Josh, but I would lean towards no on that. I like how you're trying to cover every angle, but I think likely the answer there is no. So, the dude was preparing to make a deuce into his hand.
As is tradition.
According to his girlfriend. He explained to me, look, there's no denying what you saw.
You've seen some things. I can admit that.
I can't spin this.
Exactly, I can't spin this.
I'm going to try.
No spin I can put on this. I was in the squatting position. My hand was wrapped in toilet paper, and I was prepared to drop a log into the palm of my hand. There's no denying what you saw, he said. But in explaining himself, and I can't believe this is a real person, I don't know. He does this to make less sound as opposed to deucing directly into the bowl because he's shy and he would be embarrassed if she heard him cutting a turd.
Turn the water in the sink on or something.
Actually, I know I've heard from people that they will put they'll do the toilet paper trick, but they'll put the toilet paper in the toilet.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah, not in their around their hand.
It's like a silencer.
Yes.
It's like a muffler. They'll load the water in the bowl with toilet paper to cushion the blow.
Yep.
So strange to me.
Why?
So he explained himself. I do this because I'm shy, I'm embarrassed. I don't want you to hear the plop, plop, this, that, when I'm unleashing the fury in my bathroom.
You know,
so her question is, Josh, am I overreacting by thinking this is weird? The obvious answer is no.
No, that's odd. It sounds like he admits that's odd.
Am I overreacting that I think this is weird? If you did not think that was weird, then I would be concerned.
I really want to be there when someone tells them the trick you mentioned, Ashley, because there are times I miss the most obvious answer because I'm very all or nothing, and I have trouble seeing the gray. I think I mentioned this before. There was one time we're trying to figure out what to have for dinner. My wife's like, how about we get pizza? And I'm like, well, you know I love pizza, but I don't think I could finish a whole pizza right now. And she's like, why don't you have half a pizza? And it never occurred to me. Like, sometimes those super easy things never occur to me.
I have that problem.
And so, because I think I'm very black or white. But in this case, I'd love to see the realization on his face when he goes, oh, I could have just put that in the toilet.
Could have put
so much easier. I just take the toilet paper, put that in there.
Now, listeners are telling us when you load the water, when you load the bowl with toilet paper to cushion the blow, it is called the lily pad.
Oh, that's a great name.
I've never, funny. I don't think I've ever heard of that. I mean, it made perfect sense, Ashley, when you were explaining it to me, but I don't think I'd ever heard of that method before. I'm not shy when it comes to the bathroom. You guys know that, so this stuff is all pretty foreign to me. So am I overreacting, she says. Of course not.
That would change the rest of our relation. Like, that would change the way I looked at him.
It would have
forever.
It would have to.
How would you... I can't have sex with that.
Yeah, it would take you a while, wouldn't it?
Every single time he comes out of the bathroom now, you ask, did you wash your hands?
Yeah, see, and that would bother me is how many times have you done this and then came and sat next to me?
I also couldn't have sex with that.
And also, this guy's having a lot of faith in himself that he's going to produce a solid movement.
I didn't even think of that.
Say what?
You know, 'cause what if it came out a little runny, you know, a little liquidy?
Oh, it's all over his
and then it's like it goes right through the toilet paper.
He must be a healthy guy.
People are bringing up other good points about why you'd want to put the toilet paper muffler in there. Avoid streaks, right?
Oh.
And also, you don't have to worry about the mermaid's kiss. Or Poseidon's kiss. Poseidon's kiss.
Poseidon's. And who cares about streaks? Don't you got I always keep a
toilet brush?
Yeah, I got one of I got two of them. I wear a holster. So, Ashley, it's funny that you say you could never have sex with that. That would also change all of my feelings toward that person. And I have a buddy, I'm sure I've told this before, who he thought maybe he could never love his wife again after what he saw, what she left in a toilet.
Oh, was that bad?
He pulled me aside, and it was like one of those conversations where even though we were alone, he was still kind of whispering, and he got a little emotional.
Oh, poor guy.
She just left this mass. And he said after seeing it, I don't know if I can love her anymore.
You shouldn't have to see something like that. No.
we're getting into, or some construction workers are texting saying that you always put down toilet paper in a freshly cleaned porta potty so you don't get Smurf butt.
Oh! I've heard of that because I've spent a lot of time in porta potties. I've heard of Smurf ass.
I never have. That makes so much sense.
All right, so this lady, God be with you. No, you're not overreacting. I would, like I think somebody already said, I'd like to hear more on where does this relationship go now?
And
you can continue to kiss and hug and hold hands and make love to this boyfriend after learning what he does in the bathroom?
Because I think for me, outside of picturing that, and of course that would have to come up every single argument you ever have.
Yes.
But outside, I'd wonder, well, what else is going on? What other kind of decisions are being made that I'm not aware of?
Also brilliant that you saw that angle, Josh. Absolutely. If this is what this guy does for a deuce, what does he do with other random activities? That's not the word activities. What does he do for other random bodily functions is the word I was looking for. Does he pee in his front pocket?
Like, I'm wondering, is this something he's done since he was a kid? And it's just been his tradition? This is how he does it?
Did his mother used to beat on him if he made too much noise in the bathroom? Where did this come
him
from?
or his sisters has all sisters or
Yeah,
something?
does he do it in public bathrooms?
When he would streak the toilet as a kid, he'd get the belt or something like that. Where did this torture come from? What kind of abuse was going on behind closed doors that this is the way you operate as a 36-year-old? Can I tell you something else on the topic? I've seen somebody do this.
What? As a joke?
No.
Were they drunk?
No, you didn't. Why?
Wildly, beyond wildly, almost fatally intoxicated. Oh, and they did not have their hand underneath to catch it. They were just going to let the floor catch it. Oh, it was terrible.
Oh, I'd kick him in the face.
I was going into their bedroom.
Got them red-handed.
Late at night. Late. Almost morning. On a day very much like today, John. And I had to go into their bedroom, and when I opened the door, there was something blocking the door. What the hell? Because there's no lock on this door. What's going on in here? I finally forced my way in, and there was a grown person, near fatally intoxicated again, squatting and making a poo pile on the floor of their bedroom.
Oh, man.
I've never.
Did you stay for that?
Just what see the exciting conclusion?
As long as I had to in order to figure out what it was I was looking at.
I need to see how the story ends.
What was it, like a dog? Did they make eye contact when you made it through the door?
Their eyes, Wapple? You're wondering about their eyes?
Yeah.
Lifeless eyes. Like a doll's eyes. Josh, we've done the feces thing. We've had that discussion. Where do we go from here? Can you check the morning radio handbook?
Well, certainly sex talk would be on the list.
What's the natural transition? Over to sex?
Yeah, maybe bragging about something.
Bragging. That doesn't come natural to me.
Something like overconfidence? Maybe talking about a rock star you met. I'm trying to go through the
I've met a lot of rock stars. Talk about your motorcycle. We've done that.
Yeah. All your tattoos.
What's up with this? How about this? We'll close out the show. What's up with this young kid who can't find a proper place to masturbate? Have you heard about this kid?
Yeah, it's weird that anybody would ever post something that, well, you can say that about a lot of topics nowadays, but first and foremost, this has never happened in real life. Nobody's ever not been able to find a place. And you're just like looking for masturbation material, right? He's going to get off on people's responses to what he's asking.
What is the matter with the young kids, Josh? I hear what you're saying. Speaking of letters written for social media, you just send a question out there. Doesn't matter what it is. Then you have complete strangers respond, and then you live by that. That's how the young folks do it. So let me read you this one. It's apparently a young kid who just can't find the proper place or a proper place to masturbate. I'm a freshman in the dorms going to college somewhere. I'm a freshman. I live in the dorms. One of my roommates, it's close quarters in those dorms, isn't it, Josh?
Oh, yeah. I've lived in one for a while.
Yeah, my buddies did. I remember the first time I walked into their dorm room, the first thing out of my mouth was, this is it? This is a couple of bunk beds and a tiny little television? You guys really got to live like this? It looked miserable. It looks terrible.
Yeah, I thought the same thing.
Our beds were... Oh, did you? I did love living in the dorm. It was fun. But you're right. I mean, our beds were on the opposite side of the room, but if we wanted to reach out, we could hold hands.
Yeah.
And we did.
Well, I'm sure, I mean, Dana, I'm sure you love the college life and being away from mom. I'm talking specifically about the setting. My God, you're just tripping over each other all day long. You can't even crack a fart without someone.
I
anyway,
go crazy.
So this kid's a freshman at a dormitory. He says, one of my roommates is an international student who just skips class and plays League of Legends in our dorm room. 16 hours a day he's in there. Jeez. He even gets his groceries delivered, and he eats all of his meals at his little desk in the dorm room. He literally never leaves the room for more than, say, 5 minutes, 10 minutes if he decides to shower.
Bruh.
Sounds like an awful roommate.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So here's where the kid is going with this. Aside from my room, the only other place that I thought I could masturbate is the shared bathrooms.
Oh, no.
But whacking one loose on the public shower floor seems so disgusting
Good for him.
and heinous.
He's got morals. I like that.
It's been like 3 weeks. At this point, I can literally feel a pressure whenever I sit down.
Oh.
And then he goes ahead and just dumps this question out to all the other kids at his college. Does anyone know a place I can go to masturbate? Seriously. That's the end of the letter.
Poor kid just needs to get the poison out.
Ugh.
Well, now that you've heard, who's got some advice for him?
Your car.
Yeah, but I was thinking he probably doesn't have a car.
Oh, dark corner of a library.
You take your car to a stranger's driveway in the middle of the night. You make sure the interior light is on, and you get the poison out.
That doesn't sound right.
Maybe like a gas station with a single toilet that the door can lock.
If he won't,
there you go.
Wapple, if he won't do it in the public dorms.
Yeah.
Oh, true. I mean, he's in college.
He probably won't do it at the Chevron gas station.
You know,
there's somebody around there that'll take care of that for him, I'm sure. It's just like an all-boys college.
See, again, you miss the simplest answer sometimes. Try and find a willing partner.
Yeah.
That's probably the way to go.
What?
Yeah.
You know how much work that can be for some people?
That's true.
It's not even it's gonna be like 5 minutes of his life too. Not even once he finally finds somebody.
3 weeks of build up.
It's just stupid.
Here, Steelers fan Jesus said he should just squat over the toilet and catch it.
Oh, no.
Now, that's a callback joke right there.
I remember the first time I heard a guy claim he was suffering from MSB, massive sperm buildup. I thought it was that's about the reaction I gave him too.
Just no, it's funny.
Yeah, but I still remember it for some reason because I'd never heard it before.
I've never heard that referred to it that way either.
Masturbate responsibly, I think, is a message we should close out with.
Yeah, and you know what? Take a hint. Just when you're around someone that wants to masturbate, give them their privacy so they can masturbate.
Just ask nicely. Can I have 10 minutes just alone with the laptop?
It's an unbelievable world that we live in.
Happy 49th to half Irish, half German Jesus, and best of luck with some health news he's waiting on. Happy 17th to Alexis from her dad and our pal, works in the same building as Josh Jesus. Wisco Tender, Cat with a K, Jesus, text in a happy 42nd birthday shout-out to her, quote, incredibly handsome boyfriend, Johnny. Happy birthday to Gator Jesus, turning the big 4-0 today. Happy birthday to Mitch, and happy 23rd to Paige from her proud dad, ex-sludge hauling Jesus.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show. 93
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. New episodes drop each weekday. If your podcast platform has ratings, go ahead and give us 5 stars and maybe give our enemies 1. Thanks, and here's a word from our sponsor.
Winter's arrived, and with the holidays around the corner, it's the perfect time for Standard Heating's Black Friday Comfort Countdown specials. And right now is the time to become a Smart Club member and get your furnace in top shape before winter comes. Visit standardheating.com today. Comfort you deserve since 1930.